Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi Out's here, and it is Friday, and we're doing a Friday Freakout. Just give me a thumbs up on whether you can hear my audio. I'm having an issue with the mic, it looks like. But yeah, give me a thumbs up, please, so that we can make sure there's audio. Anybody here is just say, yes, you can hear, we can hear you, Lex. That'd be great. Yeah, it's the day of the Olympics opening ceremonies in Paris. It's a big deal, a big day, and exciting. It's very, very exciting because finally the Paris Olympics are here. So many young athletes have been getting ready for this Olympic Games over the years, 4 years now. And the culmination and the start is today. Of course, the opening ceremonies is where all the athletes walk out and wave to everybody, and they carry the flags out, they light the torch. And well, Team Canada senior men's basketball has decided not to participate in the opening ceremonies. It's very interesting. In the past, basketball starts right away when the Olympics start because they have a lot of games and they have to do stuff over time. And, so Cowboy, tell me if I'm on. Yeah, Trevor, thank you. I needed that thumbs up. So, they got a game right away tomorrow. So instead of walking around, being on their feet for like a couple hours, maybe 3 or 4 hours, because that's how long that ceremony is, and they got to walk around and walk and stand, they're not going to go. Some of the players were looking forward to it. Nickel Alexander-Walker quoted as saying, I'm really looking forward to the ceremonies. Well, bro, you may be looking forward to the closing ceremonies because you're not going to the opening ceremonies. I like this decision. Apparently, in 2000, this was an issue for Team Canada men's basketball. Steve Nash, Rowan Barrett Sr. edition. The coach Jay Triano regrets letting his team at that time in 2000 walk in the opening ceremonies with their game so close after that it did affect their energy and their opening game of the tournament in the Olympics. So I commend this. This shows that they're dialed in. There's a lot of distractions at the Olympics. There's a lot of different stuff. They talked about how sometimes Team Canada in the past has, instead of eating with their family and friends at the Olympics and being around them too much, the team gets into a submarine and just basically is around each other all the time. And they're not hobnobbing or doing other things to keep unity between themselves. They're spending all their free time and meals and things like that as a unit, Team Canada. So that's a good strategy, honestly, because these guys stay bonded, they stay connected, and they enjoy themselves and stay good friends and stuff like that. So, there's a lot of different ways Team Canada is handling these Olympics that may not be the fun way. It may not be the way that's going to make memories with their family and their friends. It's the way that they're going as professionals, and they have a very, very serious goal, and they're not taking it lightly. They're very, very focused, is what I'm saying. Focused to not be participating in the opening ceremonies, focused to be staying together as teammates and around each other 24/7. So that's the kind of stuff I like. Yeah, tomorrow, Greece, let's go, 3 p.m. I'll be covering the game in person during the game, live call at tomorrow around 3. I'll go on live around 2:45. We'll do housekeeping stuff, and then I'll do a call for the game live during the game tomorrow. So be ready for our first Olympic game in 24 years for Canada in senior men's basketball. It's going to be fantastic. Trevor Jay's here first in the comments. Let's hear what Commissioner Jay has to say this morning with his words of wisdom. Good morning, Raptors family. The biggest difference between money and time is you always know how much money you have, but you never know how much time you have on this earth. So enjoy every moment. Wow, that's a really good one. I would say this. You know what is more worth it than time, or worth it than money, is health. In some ways, listen, everybody can say different things about what's great about having a lot of money. Well, if you have a lot of money and your health is poor because you worked your ass so crazy, well, that's not living. No, it's not. If you're working your ass off so crazy just to make ends meet and you're not getting to experience life, was that living? No, that's not living. I always say a couple things about this. And I agree with what you're saying. In some ways, you know what? People should value their time and their health sometimes more than just making money, because they have to prioritize that at some point because they have to. So, yeah, Trevor, I like what you're saying here. I agree with you. He's saying there was an attack this morning on the high-speed rail in France, stranding 800,000 people. That is crazy. I'm not keeping up to date on current events and things that are kind of outside my realm, but it's going to be a little bit of chaos there. I saw something on Instagram about the skateboarding team rode their skateboard the event because there was the rail was all messed up or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Paris is a hot spot. Crazy, like all kinds of political stuff. And this Olympics could be very interesting. Let's just put it that way. So hopefully nothing crazy. Nobody gets hurt. No violence. No weird stuff. So you said there's an attack this morning. What do you mean an attack? Cyber attack? Was there somebody on the train with a knife stabbing people? I have no idea what you mean with that. But the high-speed rail is all messed up and people getting stranded. That's too bad. In some ways, that's not really for our channel. Let's see. Trevor's saying also yesterday, Canada's senior men's team visited the Canadian Memorial. That's right. They left Paris and went to a war memorial site for Canadian soldiers that fought in World War II to help fight against Nazism and Hitler. And, in some ways, this is a really great trip for the senior men's Canada basketball team to go and see like people that really had a very strong purpose to what they had to do at that time and really get goal focused. It's kind of like, it can be inspiring. It can be inspiring. It could get, not all, we're not generally a patriotic country of people that get really rah, 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 Canada, Maple Leafs and stuff, Maple Leaf flag and all that kind of stuff. But, going to that memorial and seeing the inscribed dedications, talking about what they did and how they helped and what they did to help in Normandy can be very inspiring. In fact, it can really get these guys thinking in a way that's like, you know what, these people, I have it great. I play a game and these people played a game with their life and some of them lost it. And, in some ways, that's a great perspective. That's a great kind of place for these guys to check themselves and say, wow, we're not just playing for our country. We're playing for people that fought for our country also to represent the maple leaf of the country, Canada. So good stuff. Good stuff. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the soccer scandal further. I feel like this is what's happening. And some people have said this on Twitter. Canada, in some ways, has been a powerhouse in soccer. We won the gold medal in women's soccer last time. And in some ways, people don't like that. In some ways, people want to discredit or mess us up. There's a lot of unscrupulous people all over the place. And there's a campaign right now against Canadian sports, I can tell. And there's, press people going out there to try and find scoops and do all kinds of crazy stuff right now. Well, this one is basically like Ben Johnson. We're going to find this out down the road. I'm saying this right now. I'm going to stand on this. Y'all can be upset about what the coaches for Canada did. And yeah, it is wrong. I think that it's an absolute wrong thing. But just like steroids, everybody's doing it. It's just that we're the ones who are going to get caught and get the big scandal hit on us. Now, it may hit the whole industry of soccer, and they're going to find out Team USA is doing it, Team Australia, all the different teams are doing it, apparently. And it's going to be just like Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson's the guy who's going to get all the publicity in the scandal. He's going to take the fall. He's going to be dishonored. Meanwhile, Carl Lewis did the same damn shit that Ben Johnson did at the same time. That the USA covered it up, and it never came out, and they didn't tarnish his legacy. So I'm going to say this right now. I can see this being the exact same kind of situation where Canada is getting caught with their hand in the cookie jar, that the cookie jar, everybody's stealing cookies out of. And I may be wrong, and it may be singularly Canada's fault with their team. But if this is common practice on other teams around soccer, well, this is a Ben Johnson. I'm sorry. That's just pure and simply what it is. And people will use it to hurt the Canadian women's soccer program because they're too tough. They're too good. They're too badass, and they can't beat them on the field where they're going to take them down in scandal. So I really feel like this may be smacking of this. Maybe I don't disagree that what they did is wrong. As much as Ben Johnson did what he did was wrong. It's just that everybody else is doing it too on the down low, and you're going to point fingers, you're a hypocrite. So if there's people that are doing this also, drone surveillance for other soccer teams, everybody is guilty. I think this is going to come out at some point. It's just that Canada right now is the fall guy for it. And it's kind of crazy. Yeah. Tom Duke is here. Good to see West Coast checking in. Tom Duke in Victoria. He's got Jordy on the flag today. I love it. Our coach, Jordy Fernandez, on the flag, baby. That's right. No opening ceremonies for our squad. However, Giannis will have to carry around the big and hopefully exhausting Greek flag all day. Let's get that first W. Going to be fun. This is true. This is a great distinction by Raptor Freak producer Tom Duke, that Enacomto has to be in the opening ceremonies because he's carrying the flag for his country, Greece. So who knows? Maybe he will be tired. Maybe the whole Greece team will be there with him, all his brothers and teammates. And maybe they'll be all more tired because they were at the opening ceremonies. Canada takes a sacrifice and doesn't go and participate. And boom, they have an advantage in their game and a leg up. And they're working towards a medal instead of just going around and waving at everybody. Those are sacrifices to get what you want. Sometimes you have to sacrifice things you want to do, but you can't because you want to win. That's right. It's going to be fun, Tommy. That's right. Let's get that first W. I'm all about that, man. Good day, Lex, TGIF, Raptor Freak family. There you go. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's see. Monique is here. Good morning, Raptor Freak crew. Good morning to you, Monique Lawrence. Always good to see you in the morning, talking Raptors and Team Canada with you. Cowboys here too. Good morning, Lex, Trevor J, and Tom Duke, and all the Raptor Freaks. I know this isn't about Canadian basketball, but I was watching some Isaac Okoro highlights earlier. What do you think about him? I like Okoro. He's a Florida State Seminole, same as Scotty. He is familiar with Scotty. He is friends with Scotty because I've seen them work out in off-season workouts. So he wouldn't be a bad pickup. And some places are really pushing for Okoro to be the last piece of the puzzle added to the Raptors roster for this year. I'm not against it. I think that he's a great player. I think that he has a lot of potential still. He's a reclamation to a degree, just because in some ways it's interesting how he kind of got out of the shuffle in Cleveland. So I don't know. We'll have to see. In some ways, it's not my job to do. I don't live on the moon like Bobby and Masai do. I'm going to let them do their jobs, and I'll be reacting to it when something happens. I still want Koloko first. But Okaro may not be that far down in the list of possible players that I'd like to see come here. I mean, I don't want Markelle Fultz. I see him on that list, but he's good. He's good, and he would be an interesting addition. But we're kind of full at guard right now. So I don't know. I looked at that free agency list. Of course, I have a soft spot for Precious. And if Precious can be reacquired to the Raptors, that's actually a really good thing. Seriously. Some people may say, well, we got Mobo now. And didn't we just have Precious? Do we really need to get Precious back? Well, the price is right. Get Precious back because he's that kind of defender. He's that kind of player in that what kind of way. So I love Isaac Okoro. I have no problem with him. He's a Seminole like me and Scotty Wayne Barnes. So, yeah, we like Seminoles coming to our team. So I'm all about it. I'm all right with it. Trevor's saying, good morning to Cowboy. Good morning from Trevor J to Cowboy. And Cowboy's got Mo on blast. I love seeing Mo. So many Mo's. We need Mo. And Mo has these amazing plants. She shared in the chat yesterday. We saw the pictures of her air plants. They're cool. They actually are growing out of a basketball. That's how much of a diehard super fan of the NBA and the Raptors Monique Lawrence is. She's got plants growing in her house out of a basketball, y'all. That's amazing, Mo. And I'm going to give you a dunk for your cool pictures of your plants. And I really, really enjoy that you're getting into gardening and doing plant stuff like we are right now because it's so fun. It's a fun journey. And the fun of growing things and the joy of seeing stuff happen is so amazing, Mo. Let's share the time to grow. That's what I'm saying right here. Yeah, we're going to give you a three-pointer, 128 for Monique on the dunk charts. There you go, 128. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's see. Cowboys saying, I was thinking more about that McDaniels trade last night. Masai is a boss man, and he's still cooking on that deal. I can't believe we got Jamal Shed and a bag of chips for him. I smell fleece. Well, we got Jamal Shed. We got Davion Mitchell. We got a cap space from Shenkov, and we still have one more pick that we're getting next year from this deal. So there's one more player to be named for next season, Cowboy. A second-round pick next year from the Kings in the Jalen McDaniels trade also. I know, it's crazy. Now, there's an interesting article on ESPN today that is part of what I'm trying to talk about. People are going after people right now. Now, there's a lot of talk in this article about Ujiri because it's on the front page of ESPN right now, and it's about basically how the NBA got into business with an African dictator. So I don't know what they're trying to do down there or what they're trying to say. Now, there's a guy who's the leader of Rwanda, And he's been the leader of Rwanda for a long time. And he is technically very much a dictator. He has done very, very atrocious kind of things. But he's also credited with ending the genocide in Rwanda that was really, really bad at a certain time. This guy's controversial. This guy has a lot of different sides to him. He is very close with Ujiri. And he is somebody that has come to Toronto and been around the Raptors, been around Ujiri before he was even on the Raptors. He used to come and visit him when he worked for the Denver Nuggets also. So this is a long partnership. And he's somebody that he's worked with over there to build NBA-style arenas in Rwanda. Now, Ujiri's whole sense of what he's doing is to help the continent, to help the countries. And in some ways, yes, there's a dictator in charge of that country. And he's not the best person. But I think I get it. You want to shine a light on this incongruency, NBA ESPN writer. I get it. You want to try and mudsling at Ujiri. But his full focus on this has nothing to do with certain things. And you say, well, how can you be in bed with a dictator of genocide and stuff like that? Well, Ujiri wants to help the people, of Rwanda. And he's going to do things to help them through basketball. In some ways, Ujiri doesn't want to look at the stuff that he's doing. Yeah, and it's messed up. And in some ways, he wishes that these things could be changed as far as jailing his political opponents and things like that. It's not the right thing to do. But in some ways also, maybe Ujiri is talking to the guy and getting him to change over time. And maybe this guy has been a lot better over time in certain ways. Now the country is getting better because basketball and infrastructure is being invested in Rwanda. Isn't that what matters in this whole situation? If you guys want to talk about human rights abuses in the NBA, go to China, okay? That's what I would tell you, ESPN. Go to China. If you really want to put this on blast, I dare you. It's real easy for you to talk about Rwanda because you're not going to get any economic implications from that, ESPN, ABC, Disney. But you will if you talk about China in the way that they're doing it, on the scale that they're doing it. You can go ahead and talk about Rwanda and genocide and tribal beefs that have happened over there, an awful, crazy-ass war. It's really because of colonialism. It's really because of resource extraction from the continent of Africa. You go ahead and talk about all that and try and put a bad picture on Adam Silver, Mark Tatum, and Masai Ujiri for the work that they've been doing to build the Basketball Africa League. You go ahead. You saw Shamshe show up. You got scared, didn't you? So whatever the fuck your agenda is with your article on the front page of ESPN today, you can fuck right off. And listen, yeah, the NBA does dealings with shady, shitty-ass people all over the place. They're in bed with Bet Rivers now. So you go ahead and be all holier than thou, talking about a humanitarian who's trying to help a country that's been war-torn with infrastructure and funding and building something in their economy. You go ahead and get mad at Ujiri for that, ESPN, with your bullshit. I like that you centered it mostly around attacking Adam Silver and Mark Tatum for it, but you do take shots at Ujiri in the article also. It's extremely long, very detailed, and yeah, it's not very flattering towards our president of our Toronto Raptors. Well, you go ahead and write your bullshit. You go ahead. In fact, I hadn't finished reading the article. I had to go on the air. I found it just now, right before I went on there. Listen, nobody's perfect, and there are a lot of problems in this world. And there's people that are trying to justify Benjamin Netanyahu and him fucking coming to America and not getting fucking effigies burned on the ground. Listen, that guy's a war criminal, and that is a genocide right there. So no, USA mainstream. You denounce Israel and what they're doing before you come at Ujiri and Rwanda. You don't conveniently start talking about Rwanda and their problems all of a sudden when it benefits your story. You didn't cover it, Rwanda, and everything was going on there when the shit was hitting the fan. Don't cover it now when they're rebuilding and good things are happening. How about that, ESPN writer? What is your fucking name, by the way? Let me see. Your name is Mark Ferraru Wade. Whoever the fuck you are, you can fuck right off. That's what I'm going to say right now. Ujiri's doing good things for that country. And yeah, in some ways, he does have to work with a terrible person to get them done. So, all right, you go ahead. Tell your side of the story. Say that, but go fucking talk about China. How about that, ESPN? I dare you. I dare you, you piece of shit media fucking conglomerate, ABC, Disney, ESPN. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Boom goes the dynamite. Trevor's saying, Masai like a genie. He makes all your wishes come true or go away. Yeah. All right, this is another one. I got into it in the comments with a New York fan. We have a new fan like Milbester who's New York first, but he wants to come and be a part of our nation because he's liking RJ and Emmanuel a lot. He's a big RJ fan. And he's, you can go look at the comment section on my stream yesterday. You can see what we were talking about. He has a problem with Masai Ujiri declaring that Scotty Barnes is the face of the franchise for the Raptors. He's like, no, man, he's not the face of the franchise. RJ is. Nah, dog. Listen, stop, pause right here, New York fan. We don't do things up here like y'all do in New York. We don't start toxic situations by talking the shit. And maybe you're trying to start this shit on my channel, but we ain't having it. We ain't having it. First of all, you're going to find out real quick. You keep saying, oh, you're a true fan. You're observing from a fan. Yeah, that's true. I am a fan. I'm a huge fan of the Raptors, and I stand with them. And but listen, don't get it twisted. I'm an educated NBA fan for almost 50 years now. And I've been watching this game very, very closely. And in some ways, look, you're coming from the point of view that, oh, the franchise player is the guy who scores the most or is the guy who closes the game. I won't disagree that RJ may be both those people. But that doesn't mean that he's the face of the franchise. The face of the franchise, in our case, and you can have different criteria for what the face of the franchise is the guy we're building around. It's just as purely as simple as that. And, I mean, you can't go back in time, Doctor Who, and fucking change the order of events when we traded OG to New York and got RJ and Emmanuel to fit around Scotty. That's the whole thing we just said. Wait, those guys came to be around Scotty. That's the central player in this whole scene. Now, he's saying he doesn't deserve it. Scotty doesn't deserve to be the number one guy in Toronto. He hasn't done anything to prove it. Well, you live in the United States. That's the whole reason why you don't know that, Shannon, because you live in the United States and you are not getting the same kind of coverage of Scotty Barnes as we do up here. Now, sure, some of it is the media is tailoring to the Canadian audience of Canada and the Raptors, and we're seeing his highlights more often than y'all are. But some of it is also that there is very much a media campaign on the south of the border in the United States to cover up who Scotty Barnes is. It mystifies me. Some of the memes I see on Twitter where they compare Scotty to people like Jalen Johnson of the Atlanta Hawks. Nah, Hawks fan, you're fucked up for putting that bullshit out recently about Jalen Johnson. You're crazy. You have no idea who Scotty Barnes is, do you? No, you don't. Now, people that get all bent out of shape when I compare Paulo to Scotty, and they're like, well, no way. Paulo's way better than Scotty. This is the problem. There's a deficiency in understanding who Scotty Barnes is in the United States. These youngsters and people down south don't fucking get the right coverage. They're not portraying him as what he is, and that is a Giannis, LeBron, Luka level player. They won't market him the right way down there, then nobody's going to think he's bona fide. This is the way they fucking hurt us down there. Is that they try and make it seem like Scotty is not deserving because they don't understand who he is, because they don't watch it. Now, this guy, he's coming in my chat. He's like, I watched every Raptors game after the trade, and Scotty just isn't that guy. I can tell. Motherfucker, listen, how many games did you actually watch with Scotty playing with Barnes, Barrett, and Quickly, the barbecue combo? There was a lot of upheaval and churn all since OG came to your team and RJ and Emmanuel came to our team. They had so many trades. They traded Pascal after that, and we got Kelly Olynyk and Ochai Agbaji. You don't understand how much tumultuousness there was in the period of time that you watched the Raptors in. Seriously, there was so much change, and then he got hurt. You have no basis to look at. You can go ahead and say, I watched every game since the trade. Well, you didn't watch before that. You need to go fucking watch career highlights of Scotty Barnes at this point, because you don't know what you're fucking talking about. Is what I'm going to say right there. Now, another thing he's trying to say is, oh, RJ wants to be the top guy on the team. That's bullshit. I'm saying, listen, I've heard interviews where RJ says, I'm fine with Scotty being the top guy. And he's trying to say, no, man, I know RJ better. No, bullshit, you don't. No, you don't. Because RJ's, you're not like us. How about that? How about that, motherfucker? No. You don't know RJ, New York guy. Yeah, you had him on your team for a little while, but you mistreated him. You mistalked about him. You fucking were overanalyzing him. No, he's glad he's home. And in some ways, he's quite happy to be in the shadow of Scotty and have a little bit of that shining, bright bullshit New York media in his face, over-scrutinizing bullshit like you brought into my comment section yesterday, New York fan. No. Don't get it twisted. These guys are cut from the same cloth. They have the same morals. They have the same values. They have the same things that they care about. They're team first. How dare you say that RJ Barrett is a selfish player that gives a shit about being the top player on the team to the point where he's going to be a problem? No. You got to twist it. RJ Barrett came to Raptors games when he was a child with his father, Rowan Barrett Sr., and he met Masai Ujiri before he was the age of 10. You think he's going to go against the president of the Raptors and the whole plan and scheme of what he's doing? No, he's not. He looks up to Ujiri. Ujiri is a leader and a mentor and somebody he looks up to since he was a child. You think RJ Barrett's got a problem with Ujiri's architecture of how he's building a team? No, he is not. He's bought in, he's sold, and he's in Toronto, where he's from, motherfucker. So no, I ain't going to have no New York state of mind trying to tell me what a young man from Canada, from Toronto, who has Canadian values, thinks about how he feels about in the hierarchy of the Raptors with Scotty Barnes as the face of the franchise. No, I ain't going to have no New York state of mind try and tell me because you're not like us. That's what I'm going to say. Oh, yeah, I'm going to turn around on y'all, Kendrick Lamar, because we have values in Canada of unity and diversity and sticking together in Toronto that you do not understand in New York. You divide and conquer and go after each other in litigious ways like your stupid-ass James Dolan. So you go ahead and mistake yourself for not understanding Canadian culture. A young man from Mississauga that is a Canadian that wears the Maple Leaf tomorrow for Canada. He's not have an unselfish bone in his. He has an unselfish bone in all of his body. No selfishness in RJ Barrett. Team first. Put team first. What do you want me to do, coach? What do you want me to do, team president Masai Ujiri? What do you want me to do, face of the franchise, Scotty Barnes? So don't you tell me you know RJ Barrett, because I was born in the city of Toronto, and he was too, and you're not like us. There's a freak out for you, Shannon. Yeah, you ain't like us. You don't understand Canadian morals and values of diversity and sticking together. And RJ is perfectly fine with his place in the pecking order as the scorer, the finisher, the bull, the guy who's going to be getting a lot of the points off of Scotty's assists. And if you can't understand, if you're a new fan that thinks, oh, points per game is what tells you who the face of the franchise is, bullshit. The heart and the core of the player, Magic Johnson is for the Lakers, that is the franchise player. He was not the leading scorer for them very often, was he? No, he wasn't. And when he was, that wasn't a good Lakers team. So I'm sorry, New York fan Shannon, that you do not understand who Scotty Barnes is. You will understand him very soon. If you continue to watch Raptors games, you will understand him very soon. You'll understand who the fuck Scotty Barnes is. If you continue to watch Raptors games, since they don't show him down in the States properly. New York fan, don't you tell me how to do business up here as a Raptors freak. I am fan of this team. I am buying the gospel of Masai Ujiri, because I do trust in Masai, and I do understand his plan. And just because some jabroni down in New York can't understand what the fuck Masai is doing by anointing Scotty as the face of the franchise, you go ahead and be an idiot. Understand, Scotty's saying IQ is my point guard. And IQ is all about having Scotty next to him and doing what he's going to do. Nothing wrong there. And you're going to try and tell me RJ's going to have a problem with Scotty? You're wrong. You were so wrong. You don't even understand RJ. You're going to say, oh, I've been watching RJ since Duke. I watched every single game for him in New York. Well, first of all, y'all watched him in twisted-ass lens and fucking over-scrutinized him, fucking took apart every little thing about his game. We ain't going to do that up here. See, we're kinder and understanding. In some ways, we're going to let RJ fail, and we're not going to throw it in his face on the newspaper page every fucking morning after he fails. In some ways, Scotty being there, RJ being there, IQ being there, three-man partnership, barbecue is going to be good for all three of them to step up and cover for each other in different times, in different places where maybe RJ has a bad game, Scotty steps up. Maybe Scotty has a bad game, Emmanuel steps up. I don't get it. Just because you have divide and conquer kind of bullshit mentality in New York with your fucking Azatan bullshit lawsuit, fucking New York Knicks motherfuckers, don't think that we're like that up here. Because RJ Barrett is Canadian, bitch. And tomorrow he'll be wearing the Team Canada against Greece. Back to regularly scheduled programming. Yes, let's go. Cowboys send everyone. RJ slam dunk that like button, and Ulrich Shumshay blocked that Pensair channel. Let the games begin. Let's go. There you go. We got Jamal Murray. We got SGA. We got RJ and Kelly. And is that Nebhart? No, that's Kem Birch. So we got some pictures from the behind the closed doors scrimmage between Brazil and Canada on Wednesday. They did not officially announce who won the scrimmage, but we saw Bruno for Brazil, and we saw Jamal Murray for the Canada team. Apparently, he played a lot of minutes in that scrimmage. He looked good, and he looked like he was gelling with the Team Canada teammates more. So a lot of journalists have been upset and worried about Jamal Murray gelling with Team Canada. Well, apparently on Wednesday, he looked good, and he was gelling with our team. So a lot of the worries about Jamal Murray and him on the team, well, they should just kind of, whatever. Seriously, he's a pro. What do you think is going to happen here? I just want him to get serious. In some ways, his game face has been a little jokey and easy-go-lucky around Canada so far. You need to get serious, Jamal. You're the nuclear option, and we need you to be serious because nuclear weapons are very serious things. All right, let's see. Cowboys saying, two fingers salute to any Bobby or Masai haters. Let's fucking go, Raptors. Yeah, this guy's kind of trying to tell me, yeah, you're just buying Masai's lies. I'm like, bro, you don't know how it works on this channel. First of all, you may be a new subscriber to my channel, but you haven't watched me long enough to understand what we're doing here. Bro, this isn't a normal Raptors channel. No. I'm not some docile Canadian that's just going to take your bullshit. I will fucking push back. And hopefully you watch me this morning, Shannon, and you hear my retorts and what I have to say about this. Look, once again, I'll say you're not like us. RJ Barrett's a Canadian. He believes team first. He's a very giving and understanding young man. You're going to find that out. He's good with what's happening right here. You can go ahead and believe, oh, no, RJ's not happy. I know what you're doing, man. You're doing the same thing I'll do to your nation very soon. The same thing I'll do to Philly Nation. The same thing I'll do to Celtics Nation. All the Atlantic Division opponents, yeah, they get their own little, this is your disaster book. It's going to happen. Last year it was Embiid's going to get hurt because Nick Nurse ran him to the ground, and that's going to hurt them. Yeah, exactly what happened. Now, I'm going to tell you what your disaster story is for the Knicks right now. And sadly, it's because you guys went and gotten Mikal Bridges. It's so stupid. Why'd you do that? Like, it's so dumb. Just because you want to be Ash Ketchum and you're fucking Pokemon collectors, you want to catch them all. Wildcats, Villanova. Yeah. What the fuck was that? You should have reinvested in your bigs. I don't know why you got Bridges. Maybe like Leon Rose is kind of like, yeah, OG's worked out so good. Let's get another player just like OG and we'll put him on our team. Okay, troll of New York, fucker. Yeah, you go ahead and think that that's the right thing to do. I know all about this kind of stuff because we did this in Toronto a couple years ago. In fact, OG was involved in this. Let's get a bunch of players that are mid-size and all are like all-around players. Yeah. Well, what did you do? You let your backup center, your best offensive rebounder, go to Oklahoma City Thunder. You're idiots. Do you not understand the whole reason why the Knicks were good last year was because of the way y'all boarded on the offensive end? That if Mitchell Robinson isn't in your long-term plans and you just let Hartenstein go, who the fuck is your center? You're going to let Anunoby play center for you? Because that's not a good idea. You can go ahead and go back and watch. You want to watch more Raptors, Shannon? Go watch the Raptors from Tampa when OG was playing center for us at times and he got hurt. It's not going to work. Y'all fucked up when you got Bridges. You got greedy. Now you got this big, huge part in your salary cap that's just taking up shit. You're going to probably lose Randall, probably lose Mitchell. And what are you going to be? A bunch of what? Villanova Wildcats and OG? There's no size in that team. And one of the things that y'all had last year was size. In some ways, y'all better fucking get Precious quick. Because if you don't get Precious back, what the fuck are you doing? Keita Bates-Diop? Who the fuck is your center, Knicks? How are you going to play in the league of Victor Wembanyama when, oh my gosh, your best center just left. Your hurt center is still there, and he's probably not going to be around for much longer. Nah, you guys are in trouble. You had the winning formula. You finally clicked into that fucking Colonel Sanders original recipe for the last part of the season last year. But no, it wasn't good enough. You had to add some more spices to the spice rack. And you fucked up because you've changed the recipe now. You don't even realize it. I do. You're going to see it next year, you dumbasses. You think you're better this year coming up. No, you're not. You're going to be worse because you sold out your big man. Oh, my God. You can't even see this. New York's so dazzled by the Villanova Pokemon set that they have no idea that their fucking team's going to be worse, and they lost the magic that they had when OG showed up. Oh, my gosh, you guys. Oh, my gosh. I can't believe y'all did that. Seriously. Philly, I could talk about Paul George if you want me to. I can go right there. That's the first place I go with you guys this year. Yeah, we'll go to Paul George. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Tommy Dookie's got the 2-finger salute for the haters of Masai and Bobby. There you go. Trevor J saying RJ and Father Barrett interview clip. See, this is what I'm saying. Listen, RJ Barrett is not a selfish person. RJ Barrett is not somebody who's dwelling in his life on, oh, I need to be absolutely the top player on the Raptors. No, he doesn't think that way. RJ Barrett, he's wanting to respect the legacy of his family. His brother Nathan passing away earlier this year, and he wants to respect and make the Barrett name bigger. Well, he's got a couple of different areas where he can do that. He can do that, first of all, starting tomorrow in Paris on the Team Canada team, coached by Jordi Fernandez, is going to play Greece and Giannis Antetokounmpo tomorrow. Yeah, he can do this up in Canada, too, when the Raptors get their second championship, and RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes, and Emmanuel Quickley are champions. Yeah, he can get a lot of accolades and feel real good in the city of his hometown, playing in front of his hometown crowd, his family, and his friends. Seriously, you don't even understand. Listen, RJ has got his father around. His father is a huge, huge influence. In some ways, you don't even understand Rowan Barrett Sr. He's in charge of Canada basketball. He's a icon in Toronto. He's somebody that's so important around here. He's best friends with Masai Ujiri. I don't think you understand RJ Barrett. Seriously, Shannon. His history with the Raptors organization, and when he met Masai, he's looked up to him, and he's been a mentor for him at every step. Masai was talking to RJ in his ear before he even got to Duke. So what the fuck do you know about RJ Barrett on the Raptors, my guy? Seriously, what the fuck do you know? And that guy's under contract. These guys are under contract for like the next 3 or 4 years. RJ's under contract for like 3 years now. Emmanuel and Scotty are locked down for 5 years. You're going to find out real quick. Keep watching Raptors games, and you're going to find out why Scotty's the face of the franchise. Keep watching. Keep watching. You're going to find out. You didn't get enough of a sample size. How about that? Yeah, let's go. RJ. We love RJ Barrett. In fact, I'll tell you right now, RJ Barrett's my favorite player on the Raptors, but I have a relationship with Scotty. Yeah. I talked to Scotty on Twitch many times over the years, and Scotty and the Raptors Streak are buddies. And in fact, I was talking to Lloyd yesterday, guys. Of course, there was a post that Jonathan Mobo put out. Maybe I'll just do the Instagram stories, and that's how we'll talk about it. All right, first we'll go with Emmanuel quickly. He's saying God's delays are not his denials. Be patient. God knows when the time is right. Thank you, Monique, for reposting this in our chat. And yeah, Emmanuel is a badass, and it's cool. He's got the picture with him, and Siakam's behind him. You know, that spicy barbecue was a really fun era. Now, Shannon, did you watch that when we had Siakam and them? That was a good team. Trust me, that was a good team. But once again, you're not watching Scotty properly. And if you're only watching highlights, NBA's not giving the right highlights. They'll cover up Scotty's shit. Seriously. They're not showing him correctly to you guys down there on purpose. Emmanuel's on a boat in Marbella, Spain. That's right. These guys are in Spain right now. Amit Gaming going to the Canadian Toronto Pro-Am last night at Mattamy Center. And he was hoping to see D'Angelo Russell and Scotty Barnes there, but neither were there. The biggest name that was in the house was Trey Bell-Haynes of our FIBA bronze medal winning team last year from FIBA World Cup for the senior men's team. So Trey Bell-Haynes was there, but unfortunately, Gaming did not see Scotty Barnes. I'm pretty sure Scotty's in Spain. So with the rest of the Raptors and practicing right now, they're in proximity to the Olympics. And they probably, a lot of those guys are jumping the border and going into France to see Olympic events also. So, yeah, there's a beautiful resort that Emmanuel's taking a picture of from the top there. A beautiful, nice, sunny pool. There's Kelly Olynyk taking a picture of the Eiffel Tower with the Olympic rings on it. That's a beautiful thing. Kelly Olynyk also. A guy who, didn't have loyalty to Canada or Toronto for most of his NBA career, but now that he's back, he likes it, and it feels real good. The shoes fit real nice. And playing for the Raptors is a dream he had as a kid in the driveway at Scarborough. Well, there's your dream, my guy. You were the villain before when you were on the Celtics and the Heat, but now you are a bona fide Captain Canada, and we love Kelly Olynyk and RJ Barrett, our Canadian Team Canada Raptors. Yuta has got him putting the number 12 on for Japan. Let's go, Yuta Watanabe. I have a special warm spot in my heart for you, my good guy, Utah. Yeah, see, Gary Trent Sr. has got a campaign sign out of his yard saying, fuck them both, 2024, American do better than this. Yeah, I would say that maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago, but not now. I think we can do pretty good with Harris. So go ahead and, Gary, take that sign out of the yard. He's also got some crazy thing where the monkeys are taking the bananas, but not the money, because the monkeys don't understand that the money can buy more bananas. Well, of course, duh. In some ways, money doesn't mean jack shit to most of the world except for our stupid asses. The trees, the animals, they don't care about money. And then there's a very cute little monkey feeding a watermelon to a bunny on a kid's slide. That's pretty cute. And the monkey acts like he's going to bite its head, but he actually kisses the bunny's head. That is too damn cute, Gary Trent Sr. What the hell are you doing? Such cuteness there. All right, let's see. Jeff Landicho, Open Gym creator and producer, has posted Luol Deng's response to Paul Pierce, Gilbert Arenas, their horrible comments about South Sudan. So Luol came at them. I don't even know what he said exactly, but I'm sure it's pretty cool. RJ Barrett showing the picture of Dwight Powell and Dylan Brooks lifting him up off the court on his Instagram stories. And there he is with his team. You know, RJ's locked in. He's focused. He ain't got no time to have extracurricular thoughts like Shannon from New York has. He is worried about doing well for Canada and getting a medal and playing as a team player. You think RJ's worried about outshining SGA? You think he's worried about outshining Jamal Murray? No, he's not. He's trying to go there to help his team win however way he can. And that's the same damn philosophy he has for the Raptors. Just because you don't respect the Raptors, Shannon, doesn't mean RJ Barrett doesn't. So I will say that right there. Miles Burns has at a pro-am. It looks like he's shooting a free throw. Let's see if he makes it. Make that free throw, Miles. No, that's actually a clip from 905 last year. It's just the jerseys from the women's month jersey. Let's see. Kyle Lowry's got his clubs out. It's the summertime. Of course, Lowry's golfing. The GROAT is golfing always in the summertime. Thad Young is putting his son on blast. Thad Young Jr. is getting bigger and bigger by the week. And this kid is looking good. He's going to be in the NBA. I'll tell you right now, Thaddeus Young Jr. is going to be in the NBA someday. This kid is a prospect. And he's good. I can tell he's going to be good. Let's see. Who else do we got? We got to keep looking. There's somebody else that I wanted to check. Where's Jomo? He's the one I actually wanted to talk about here. Where is Jomo? Why is his stories not coming up? That's weird. They should be all in line. All right. Well, basically, Jomo, they posted something about Jonathan Mobo at Summer League, posting his recap of it. He recapped being in Summer League for Vegas. He posted the area code and showed some pictures of him on the court and also sitting on the end of the bench with Grady and also being out and about in Vegas and his experience at Summer League. And Lloyd reposted it on his Instagram stories. And I wrote to Lloyd. Lloyd, of course, is What About Lloyd, best friend of Scotty Barnes and Jonathan Mobo. And he's from their NBA 2K basketball team. He plays on their team with them. And he's, of course, our friend from 2 years ago when we were all on Twitch talking to Scotty all the time when he was on Twitch almost every day that summer. Lloyd was one of his best friends. Well, Lloyd talks to me. I messaged Lloyd yesterday and I said, Lloyd, how excited are you and Scotty also and Jonathan about Scotty and Jonathan playing on the same team now? And the dream is happening. And Lloyd is like over ecstatic. He's like, my two best friends are going to get to play on the same team. And I'm going to be coming to Toronto way often. So he replied to me. So in some ways I have a line of communication to Scotty's camp through Lloyd, because Lloyd does give me the time of day. And he remembers me straight up because I would go into his Twitch streams and talk to him. And we've had a lot of conversations over the last couple of years. So what about Lloyd talking to me about how excited he is about Jonathan being drafted to the Raptors and getting to play with his best friend from fourth grade, Scotty Barnes. And that Lloyd is going to be in Toronto a lot more because of this setup at this point. That's what Lloyd told me personally in his chat just last night, actually. Let's see. Let's go, RJ. People need to understand who RJ is. I think New York people never understood him. And that's part of the reason why y'all had mistreated him down there. Seriously, I think you misunderstood RJ Barrett down there in New York, y'all. And well, it's all right. He's home. He's back where he belongs. And y'all not like us. You know, I'm going to turn around and use that, Kendrick Lamar. And I'm not talking about Drake and his pedophile bullshit. I'm talking about you're not like Raptors fans and Toronto people like RJ Barrett and myself. As far as we're loyal and we're giving and we're team players and we play for each other. We don't play for ourselves. In some ways, New York state of mind, go ahead, get all about yourself. Go ahead and get all about yourself. Cowboys saying, sorry, Grease, you're going to be the first victim. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I think we're going to do very well. Of course, I'll be calling the game live, so I hope y'all will join me. Seriously. Thumbs up from Trevor. Dana saying, good morning, everyone. Good to see Canadian Dana in the chat and not blocked out because she's a spam artist. Yeah, don't do that. Don't be a spam artist. I'm so happy you're back, Dana, and no more troubles with you being in our chat. And I love your logos with the Team Canada logos. Beautiful. Seymour Sam made the best man win. Let's fucking go, Canada and Raptor Streaks. There you go. Well, the best man win, SGA. That's who I want to win. Where's that jersey? Where's that jersey Tommy gave me that I'll be wearing tomorrow during the game? That's right. Gilgeous Alexander, number 2 with the maple leaf on it. That's right. This beautiful, the best man. I hope it's him. Yeah. Let's say good morning to Canadian Dana and ta-da. All right. You want me to do that? Here we go. Look at this little guy. Who's this dude? Who's that guy? It makes me think of the little Microsoft paperclip, right? That little guy. Hi, I'm the ta! Exclamation point. Hi, I'm exclamation point. Ta-da! Talk to Bradley and get a free quote from ta-da. 647-833-6844. Ta-da! It's great. Exclamation. All right, there we go. All right, Isaac live at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Nice. Yeah, we'll be on in the middle of the afternoon in July. In the summertime when other people are doing everything out there. That's when Canada's going to be playing their first Olympic game. I hope that we get good ratings. In some ways, there's a lot of forces out there trying to hurt Canadian sports, whether it's the soccer team, whether it's Masai Ujiri, whether it's not broadcasting our basketball team that's absolutely amazing and could be very, very good. So come on, get your heads out of your ass, Canadian media companies. Start treating the basketball like it is marquee. In some ways, that USA stuff is ratings bonanza. With having that super team for the United States. Well, we got one here. Why the fuck wouldn't you put him on CBC all over the place? You will tomorrow, finally. Finally, you'll put that shit on TV. That's right. And I'll be calling the call. There you go. Cowboy saying, good morning, Sheriff. Hope you and yours are goody. Yeah, the more I'm hearing about what's happening out west in Alberta is messed up. Apparently, Danielle Smith is just not getting it. You make all those cuts to fire prevention, and boom, you lose a city called Jasper. You dumbass. PC government is ruining this country, and progressive conservatives need to be voted out. So I don't care who you vote for. Vote for whoever the fuck will get them out. If it's got to be red or orange or green or whatever, I don't care. Whoever's in your riding will help you get rid of the blue PC government bullshit that's in your area, whether it's Daniel Smith or fucking Doug Ford. Just vote them out is what I'm saying. You want more forest fires and more towns destroyed to rubble? Yeah, go ahead and blame Danielle Smith, her cocky ass shit, not taking help from Justin Trudeau earlier, waiting until a city's destroyed. A historic, beautiful city of Jasper, destroyed to the ground because the premier of Alberta is full of shit and won't accept federal help soon enough. Oh, you're so full of shit. So full of shit. And try and blame Trudeau afterwards. No, you didn't ask for help quick enough because you're trying to be proud and say, we don't need help from the federal government. See, the states have governors like that down there too. Fucking Florida could be underwater because of hurricanes and dumbass fucking whatever his name is. I don't even remember his name because he's a piece of shit. Wouldn't take money from Joe Biden and he let his state suffer because he's an idiot. The fucker down there. He's not even in the talks for why isn't he the vice presidential candidate? DeSantis. That'd be hilarious. Apparently Trump's already pissed at JD Vance. He wants to get rid of him. He's like, I don't like this guy now. Can I change it? He's mad at his staffers for pushing JD Vance as the running mate for him. He doesn't like him at all. This is such a disaster for that side right now. So bad. Really, really bad. And when Kamala announces her running mate, oh my gosh, there's going to be like a crazy momentum that's going to come from it. The DNC is going to be crazy. Watch. It's going to blow everybody away because she can speak. She can go off. And it's so funny now that Trump's backpedaling on the debate because he knows if he gets in a split screen with her, she's going to massacre him verbally to his face and make him look like a fucking exactly what he is, a fucking criminal and a fucking misogynist. She will kill him verbally. Oh my gosh. It would be crazy. It'd be so fun. I want to see that, but he's scared. He's not going to do it. Watch. He won't do it now. Let's see. Fiercely saying, good morning, fam, and happy Friday. Let's get the dub against Greece. Thank you, Trevor J., for your words of wisdom. Health is wealth. I agree with this. You know, what is your wealth if you have no health? Think about that one. Yeah. Cowboy's got the eye candy out and the tractor, and he's showing love to Miss Salsera. There you go. Seymour saying, I'm definitely money hungry mode, 24/7, 365. Not gonna lie. It's Seymour Paper, a.k.a. Seymour Pape. That's why your name is Seymour Pape. I just realized this now. That's why your name is Seymour Pape, because you want to see more Pape. All right. It all makes sense now. All right. Hey, listen, whatever your grind is, you go ahead. I wish you health to get your wealth. How about I say that? Yeah, most saying Raptors players getting tips from Real Madrid coach in the latest open gym moments. Yeah, this is really cool. They're in Spain, so why not have the coach of Real Madrid come in and do a little supplemental coaching? Very close friend of Darko Rajakovic, apparently. So that's pretty cool. I'm not familiar with the guy, but I know he has a lot of esteem, and he's a big time guy if he's a coach of that program. So I'm not very familiar with him, but I know that he's very close with Darko, and that's a big deal. In some ways, I hope that the Raptors players take it in and really get a lot from a different outside mind, the coach of Real Madrid. Yeah, very, very cool stuff. Cowboys saying, Sheriff, there's a Sheriff of the money. Yeah, see more paper. There you go. Bryce has got Mo on blast. I love to see that. Yeah, let's give Mo another alley-oop for sure. Monique, you're at 129 now, getting up the dunk charts. There you go. Tommy's got the growth of the plants that Monique has. That even looks like that's in a basketball. That second emoticon, Tom. How'd you do that? How'd you get the emoticon to be the plant in the basketball? Andrew's saying, I'm excited for that Portland 2025 second. That's the one we're getting in the Sacramento deal still next year. There you go. Andrew's excited for next year's draft already. Wow. Man, I know draft is fun, but I got to go through the season first. I get excited about everything in order. I got to wait for training camp next and preseason. That's the next part for the Raptors for me. Although there's a little bit of free agency still to get excited about right now. Yeah, Cowboys saying, me to Andrew, let's grow. That's right. Let's grow, Andrew, from Cowboy. He said, we can use it as a sweetener in a trade or pick someone between 31 and 40. Preach on, Andrew. There you go. Yeah, let's give Andrew, Raptor Freak Andrew, a dunk real quick. Because, yeah, he's right on with what he's saying right here. I love it. I love it. I love it. Where's Andrew? He's down at the other end. There he is. So I'm going to give you a 4. A 3. So you're at 4. You got the Scotty Barnes face of the franchise 4, Andrew. There you go. You got the face of the franchise 4, Andrew. Let's grow. That's right. Preach on. Preach on. Yeah, let's see Trevor Jason, the new open gym clip yesterday. I didn't see it. It's just that little one with Real Madrid coach, right? That's all it is, right? It's just that little clip, right? Smith saying China is the NBA's biggest customer. 100% agree. Yeah, if somebody's going to become, all right, seriously, it's easy for y'all to go after Africa. Africa's been gone after for so long in so many different ways throughout the history of time that you go ahead and you poo-poo and take a big fat shit all over what they're trying to build over there. ESPN writer, whoever put that fucking article out this morning first in front and everybody. You go ahead. In some ways, it doesn't matter. Ujiri's untouchable. He's going to do what he's going to do. If the NBA really has a problem with Ujiri working with this guy in Rwanda, well, why is Adam Silver in the middle of it too then? So seriously, what are you trying to do? You know what? Maybe, do you understand that dictators just kind of are in charge in a lot of different places? I mean, Putin, hello. Netanyahu seems like one. Hello. And maybe all right, this guy who's in Rwanda, I'm not trying to justify him or anything like that. If he did really horrible war crimes and shit like that, there should be a tribunal and he should be in trouble at some point. But if he's also, I believe in forgiveness and I believe in somebody turning the other leaf. And if he's had more net positive benefits for the country of Rwanda since the very dark time in the 90s, I don't see why this is a problem if the guy's actually making the standard of living and safety in that country for his people better. Does that make sense to you? Because, a lot of people didn't like Castro in Cuba. He's a dictator. He won't do this. He won't do that. But he did good things for his people. He gave them education. He gave them health care. He didn't give them a lot of choices and freedom in some ways. Yes, that's true. But in some ways, USA is going to try and make different people look bad in different places for political reasons and power. So whatever this is, this hit job on the Rwanda president for his connection to the NBA and the Basketball Africa League and Adam Silver, Mark Tatum, and Masai Ujiri, whatever your objective is in this, who the fuck are you? Are you helping the situation with your article? No, you're not. And in some ways, that's not helpful. In some ways. Yeah, you go ahead. Let's talk about all the things that are going on in China. How about that? You want to be fair and balanced. Go ahead and start talking about that, motherfucker. That's what I'll say about that. Cool Cat saying, good morning, Rat and Free Crew. ESPN NBA is getting worried about Africans joining, and Masai has the advantage. They want to create drama to restrict the success. Saudi NBA, China NBA, gambling NBA, ESPN jealous. I think Cool Cat's hitting the nail on the head, Coach Cool Cat, right here. I think she's hitting it on the head. In some ways, they see Shamshay show up, and you notice that some of the ESPN people in Summer League were not trying to say his name or put him on blast. And it's very much partly the very open racist xenophobia shown by Gilbert Arenas and Paul Pierce, just hidden behind closed doors in kind of like discrimination. Yeah, let's just put it that way. Discrimination. I think Cool Cat's exactly right. I just gave her a 3-pointer and she's at 84 dunks now. I think she's exactly right. The Saudis are a great example. Oh my gosh. Yeah, bring that up. Bring that up real quick. Yeah, Cool Cats. Anybody who's doing business with Saudi Arabia, yeah, you're implicit in human rights crimes also. You say whoever it is, the oil companies, you can say Vince McMahon and the WWE, you can say the NBA and Adam Silver. So yeah, 100%, exactly. Yeah, Cowboys saying every player on the Raptors is the face of the team. Scotty's going to be a face of the NBA. Ask Chef Darko. Let's fucking grow. Boom goes the dynamite. Once again, listen to our New York subscriber. Listen, I want to have friendly discussion with you, but you pissed me off last night. Now, what I'm going to say is, yeah, Darko did not fucking like lie when he said he sees Scotty as a face of this league. You know, that's part of it too, is y'all don't want this to happen. He's undeniably one of the best talents coming up. And the NBA is not promoting him correctly down there, like Jason Tatum, Zion Williamson, and fucking Ja Morant, shit like that. So in some ways, I understand your ignorance, Shannon, that you just don't understand who Scotty is correctly. Well, you'll find out. You're going to find out. One way or another, the NBA is going to learn who Scotty is. And you're going to realize that what we're saying up here is exactly right. When Ujiri says he's the face of the franchise, when Darko says he's a face of the league, you're going to realize it. You're going to find out. So give it some time. And honestly, we're a positive Raptors fans channel. And you come in here saying, I doubt Scotty's going to live up to his potential. I doubt Scotty's going to earn his money. I doubt Scott. Don't fucking doubt Scott. I learned that the first day I went into Twitch. I said, Scotty, you know, I don't think this is going to happen. He said, Raptors Freak, don't ever doubt me, is what he told me personally. And I'm going to tell you that right now, Shannon. You better not doubt Scotty Barnes. You're going to find out. You're going to find out down the road. Seriously. He's a youngster. He's a young man. He's still maturing his personality. He's maturing very quickly. And once again, I'm going to predict this. Because Scotty had his hand broken in the middle of the season, he had to sit out most of the end of the season. The games that you were watching that were absolute garbage and you're gauging our Raptors by, which are absolutely not the games that gauge the Raptors and where they're at, is the end of the season without Jakob Poeltl and Scotty Barnes. He sat there on the bench and watched the Raptors lose, sitting next to Garrett Temple and other leaders on the team like Chris Boucher, Gary Trent Jr. at that time. And he heard what they had to say about situations in the game. In some ways, Scotty being such an important player, he's always on the court. He's tired. He didn't have the chance to just sit back and observe. And especially with a talented, great mind that knows the NBA inside out, like Garrett Temple, who's been in this league for 17 years, can sit there next to him and give him notes and point things out to him. So this is the thing. Scotty said at the end of the year, he said, I have a whole new perspective about what it takes to win in this league from having to sit on the bench. So listen, we can see how Scotty jumped from year 2 to year 3 to be an all-star last year. I'm going to tell you right now, the jump is coming in that aspect that he has decided he wants to win. It is nobody else's choice except his, and he's going to go out there and fucking make it happen. Because he sat there with Garrett, and he saw moments where if he had been on that court, he knew what he would have done to make the Raptors have a better chance of winning. So don't get it twisted. Scotty's a winner. He's going to be doing strings of winning plays in a row. That's the thing. Since he started his career as a rookie for the Raptors, he had flashes of brilliance, little flashes here and there. Well, they started to kind of congeal and come together over stretches. There may be like, look at this series of plays where Scotty at both ends of the court is doing a winning play after a winning play at this end, is a defensive play back to an offensive play, and then is this, and then he just dominates for like a 5-minute stretch of the game. You're not seeing that, Shannon. You will. And this year he's going to focus it in a more concentrated way to take the games over. And this is the thing. Don't be a casual and think just because RJ's making the shots to make it. If Scotty's silver plattering, setting him up to be successful at the end of the game because he's a misdirection and he's passed it to him and he's laying it up, don't get it twisted. RJ's doing his part to be the scorer and get the points. And maybe this leading scorer for the Raptors this year. But I'm not a casual in the NBA. I'm not a young fan that overvalues scoring. There's a lot of meat and potatoes on the plate you got to eat in the NBA. And Scotty's an all-round player with all-round stats. They're on the level of Luka Doncic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Victor Wembanyama, and LeBron James. So you fucking tell me Who the fuck is the face of the franchise when you got an all-around talent that Scotty Barnes is and a cerebral one that's picking it apart and figuring it out? And he's going to come back from the lab this summer with a very focused identity about how am I going to make the Raptors win? So, yeah, you go ahead and understand that this is what it is here. And if you don't know what Scotty's about, you're going to learn, is what I'm going to say real quick. Yeah, you're going to learn. You're going to learn. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Darko says he's the face of the league. And if the league allows it, he will be. If the league allows Scotty to be a face of the league, he will be. It may be that he's like Vince. He's just like, motherfuckers, you're going to have me as a face of the league no matter what. You don't think the NBA wanted Vince Carter to blow up and do what he did up here? No, they probably did it. They begrudgingly gave national TV games to the Raptors and NBC. Phoenix versus the Raptors. Vince scores 50 points on a Sunday afternoon while I was in attendance back in the day. Yeah, Vince Carter forced the hand of being the most popular player in the NBA, beating Michael Jordan in all-star votes. Don't get twisted. Scotty's going to get there at some point. It's just not going to be as quickly through dunks like Vince Carter did. It's going to be from what he does on the court and how he does it. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Face of the league, Darko Rajakovic quote. Yeah, why are we saying this? Why do we all think this? Why does Masai think this? Why does this coach think, oh, it's just because of the Raptors, you have to keep things happy and harmonized. No, bullshit. No, we don't do that. No, we don't. We don't. We fucking are for real up here, and we're serious about our team. You think we're investing all this fucking money in Scott if we think that he's not going to come through and do what he's supposed to? No, I don't doubt him. I don't doubt him. I know he's coming because I've seen the hybrid of Kawhi Leonard, Magic Johnson, and Tim Duncan that Scotty Barnes can fully realize at his full potential. So you go ahead and you sleep on him some more, Shannon. Yeah. Freaking out on Shannon. That's the stream today. All right, let's see. Fiercely saying, tell him, Lex, education is key, and there's a reason for all front office decisions. Other fans, nations need to chill and get the facts before voicing their opinions. Exactly right. You're not like us. You're not like RJ and myself. We're Canadians. We come together, team players, and we think about each other. We're not so fucking selfish that we're only worried about ourselves. It's not, no, we're not that lyric that Bob Marley sings about that will destroy mankind just to save his own. No. We're on the same page, and our team knows exactly what they're doing and going forward. The hierarchy is clear. This is the problem for sports teams, especially the Knicks. When you don't have the right head chef who's in charge, well, there's a lot of ambiguity of people who's in charge, and people start push-pulling, and there's no true leader. That's been a problem for their team in the years past. They have more of a true leader now with Leon Rose, and they have a bona fide coach that's going fine. Thibodeau getting the extension recently. But for many, many, many years, the Knicks team had too many people kind of trying to be in charge. This is a big problem for the Leafs in the NHL. In Toronto, I say that the Maple Leafs are very similar to Knickerbockers in their places in their leagues because they have very storied franchises with a lot of history and a lot of egos that want to fucking shape those teams and get involved. See, the secret to the success of the Raptors in the Masai Ujiri era is we got one cook in charge in the kitchen, and he's designated, and that's Masai Ujiri. The buck stops here. In New York, you floundered for years and years because it was ambiguous who was in charge, and there was power struggles between GMs and owners and coaches and shit like that. No, that's the thing. You don't fuck your team up and make it toxic in Toronto because we know how to do things with leadership. And that's why when Masai says face to face the franchise, well, that's just how it is. And the rest of the team, well, these guys know that. And being here is a privilege to play next to Mr. Barnes. And RJ and Emmanuel realize this, even if a New York fan does not. They don't need to understand it. Yeah, Andrew saying when Scotty got his contract, everyone was saying overpay, but when Franz, Cade, and Mobley got the same deal, people thought it was a good deal. I'm telling you, this world is such a world of perception, and in some ways, Shannon in my comments is trying to bring his New York perception into a Toronto Raptor space. No. Now, once again, I'll say you go ahead and have your reality. I've explained what I think y'all's reality is for this year. You probably very much disagree with me, but that's what I think. And you know what? I could be very much right. If I'm wrong, okay, I was wrong. Knicks are fine. They're going to be better this year because they got Bridges. But if they aren't and I'm right, well, I'm right. How about that? And I would say this. I'm not going to doubt Scott. I trust Scott. And Masai and Bobby aren't stupid. They're not going to fucking invest a crazy amount of money in a kid who's not dedicated and really, really going to do things right. They're good at their job. They found Siakam. They found Anunoby, the best player on your team, to be honest. We got in an argument about who the best player on the Knicks was yesterday. Well, this is part of it. See, you can see it from the other side of the mirror, Shannon. You're going to say that RJ's the best player on the Raptors. I'm going to say OG's the best player on the Knicks. How about that? Yeah. Oh, no. Jalen Brunson's the face of our franchise. No, he's not. It's just because he gets promoted on NBA as the face. But I don't know if it's the face of your franchise. Julius Randle was the face of your franchise before that. He's trying to say, no, Julius hasn't been. We reject him. We don't want him. No, he was your best player for the years before Jalen Brunson emerged to this. And in fact, Jalen Brunson didn't just become this right when he showed up. It took a little while before he kind of came out of the shadow of Julius. And so I wouldn't even say that. And I would say that Julius was the de facto face of your franchise up until he got hurt this season. And that Jalen Brunson just rose up and kind of stepped in that spot recently is what I would say. I would say also Jalen Brunson is not much better than OG or Mikal Bridges or Julius Randle. So in some ways, you saying that he's your best player, what, because he got MVP votes? Fuck that. That don't mean Shaq shit. That's just the NBA brown nosing whoever they want to brown nose that time. So listen, we can have different perspectives coming from different fan nations. But you know what? As much as maybe it bugs you, I'm saying that OG's your best player. And he, honestly, I would make him the face of your franchise. He's the highest player on your team, isn't he? He's the highest paid player on the Knicks right now. So isn't he your franchise face? No, it's Jalen Brunson. Well, okay. Are we doing the same thing to each other then? I'll let you have Jalen Brunson as your franchise face. I don't give a shit who your franchise face is. I really don't. But you apparently have a real problem with Scottie being our franchise face. So, I mean, it's just the same action. What you're coming. I'll come into your nation and say, yeah, OG's your face of your franchise. He's the best player. Y'all didn't win jack shit until OG showed up. And he's like the key to everything for you to win. It's obvious. When he gets hurt, y'all don't win. He comes to your team, you're winning all of a sudden. You have a certain winning percentage with OG. Well, why isn't he your most important player? He's your most highest player. Oh, Jalen Brunson took less money to help everybody. Well, isn't that stupid? The highest paid player on your team should be your face of franchise, right? I don't know. Is OG your starting center? Yikes. That's what I would say right there. Yeah, that's what I would say right there. Andrew, you're exactly right. I think the contract for Evan Mobley is absolutely ridiculous. I think that's the one that's going to look really bad in the years to come. Franz Wagner's fine. He deserves that money. Cade should be compensated for playing for the Pistons. That's all I have to say on that. This guy would like that. Yeah, Bryce is saying once he said another Milbester, I did a face bomb. Yeah, in some ways we're going to have to expect, because RJ and Emmanuel are around our team now, New York fans are going to be coming here and trying to see what's going on with their favorite players from before. There's a lot of love for both of them on their team, and rightfully so. These guys are great young men. They're fantastic people. And I love them so much. Like I've said, I'm not dissing RJ when I say what I'm saying today. It's just we have our shit together. And we're not trying to have no New York Post ambiguity, speculation every fucking day, as much as Toronto Sun or Michael Grange may want to try and stir that shit up. No. That's why the Raptor Freak exists. That's why Masai Ujiri, Bobby Webster, and Darko Rajakovic make it very clear that there is all sorted out already. And it's not for a fan in New York that doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about to tell us what we're doing up in Toronto. That's what I say right there. Yeah. Fiercey's like laughing at Bryce. You know what? I'm going to give Bryce a dunk for being funny. Bryce, we're going to give you a three-pointer. You're at 31 now. 31 dunks for Bryce Lawson, holding it down in the K-Tuck for us and the Bluegrass State. That's right. Smooth saying, remember, Scotty's learning on the job. It's going to take time, but very soon he'll be a top 10 player in the NBA. Yeah, I believe what you're saying exactly, Smooth. I really do believe this. See, the thing is, the learning curve for Scotty's different. He came in, he's very successful right away. He's the rookie of the year. The second year, kind of spin his wheels in the toxic year of Nick Nurse being a bullshit motherfucker on the down low for the Sixers about to defect. This third year, he has a huge leap. And I want to say this. Some people are saying, like, all right, Scotty and Brian Macon working hard last summer. It was a big reason why Scotty became an all-star this year. But also, I want to say that the Darko factor was involved. That Darko showed up and he met Scotty and he put him in a direction from when he got hired as the Raptors coach last summer to get more gains through the rest of the summer. And that's the thing people are not realizing about the Raptors. That Darko Rajakovic is a proven top-notch development coach in the league. He is a big reason why the guys in the Grizzlies got better. Desmond Bain gives all the credit in the world for who he is in the NBA to Rojakovic. Zaire Williams, who just got recently traded. Jaren Jackson Jr., a defensive player of the year for the Grizzlies, gives a lot of credit to his growth as a young player to getting to where he got to our coach in Toronto. Now, what are we doing? Rebuilding. We have a whole new slate of draft picks that we just got in the draft. We've got RJ and Emmanuel, who are fantastic young players that are ready to take a new leap on a new team with a fantastic development coach named Darko Rajakovic. So I'm telling you, it's all set up real nice. If this is a garden and each one of the Raptors players are a plant in the garden, well, they got a master gardener that's going to help them grow real tall and strong and full of vitality. And I'm telling you, it's coming. And Smooth's exactly right. There's levels of how Scott's going to learn this game that are not common in NBA players because, first of all, they don't have the ability physically or talent to do the things that a person like Giannis or LeBron or Scottie can do. And the more he figures out the cerebral part and the way that he can force his will on the game to control it, the more this league and the fans will understand exactly why Darko says he's a face of the league. The more they will understand it. And they'll get more evidence this year. Some people are going to say, oh, Scottie will backtrack or Scottie will be exactly the same. I don't believe that. I don't think Scottie's trying to fuck around with his life and just sit on his laurels and just let it go by. He's going after it. He wants to be the absolute best player he can be. And don't ever underestimate how a player can get buoyed up in spirit by having one of his best friends on his team with him. Some people may say that's a distraction. No. Trust me. These guys are serious. For Mobo to catch up and get on the Raptors at this point in his life shows that he's been putting work in. And this is the thing. They have a shorthand. Once again, like I said, they drank juice and watched cartoons together when they were fourth grade age. There's a shorthand between Jonathan and Scottie that's deeper than any kind of average chemistry that you can build in the NBA. These guys have played together for a long time, and it's going to be very interesting having Scottie and then Mobo, who's very similar to Scottie out on the court as far as how selfish. Yeah, RJ's going to get a lot of these passes. He's going to get a lot of these buckets. He's going to be scoring. Yeah, because in some ways, Scottie and Jonathan, they want to pass to everybody. That's what they love doing. And, fans down in the United States, they don't appreciate a passer, a good assist man. Well, maybe you won't understand Scottie then. Maybe you won't. But you will when he beats your team. That's right. That's how you'll understand him. Big up the Raptor freaks. Thank you, Neil. Good to see you, Black Hawk, in the house. Smooth saying, I was one of those people who had my doubts about Scottie, but I did a real deep dive into his game. He's the real deal. I mean, the signs are just there from all the things. I knew it right away when I saw him. I was like, wow, Masai and Bobby got a really good, stud young player. It's just his frame. His shoulders look like Dwight Howard before he even stepped on an NBA court. In some ways, Shamshay and him have a lot in common. There's a lot of really, really raw potential in Shamshay that's with Scott at that age too. So it's going to be crazy. It's going to be very amazing to see Ulrich's journey and Scottie. He's going to have a journey that goes even more up. And Smooth may have had doubts, but he doesn't anymore. He can see that it's just the little things. Listen, this is the thing I'm going to tell people. People say, why do you guys think he's like Magic? Well, Magic Johnson thinks he's like Magic. Seriously, Irvin Magic Johnson came out and said, I like Scottie Barnes. He has Showtime in him. He's a lot like me. That's Magic Johnson saying that. That's not Jabroni Lex on the Raptor Freak channel saying this. This is the man himself decreeing and decrying, saying, yeah, he's like me. Yeah, that guy's like me. Why do we celebrate Irvin Magic Johnson so much? Because he's a giving player that makes everybody around him better. That's who Scottie is. That's who Scottie is. If Magic Johnson's, he's not going to go around and say a player every year, this is my Irvin Johnson player of the year. He's the most like me. No, he doesn't do this shit. He doesn't go out and say, this guy plays like me. No, very rarely have ever heard Irvin ever say that. Irvin has never said that. I can't even remember if he said that ever before. He said it about Scottie. I think Magic Johnson understands basketball. I would say that. I'll say that, yeah. Let's see. Angry Mexicans here. Hornets Nation. Check it in. Good to see Angry Mexican. They had the top 10 players predicted best for next year, and De'Aaron Fox was ranked 10th. Would you take Scottie Barnes over Fox going into next season? Oh, for sure. I think you would too. Come on, talk to me, Angry Mexican. Yeah, I think you would take Scotty Barnes over De'Aaron Fox too. I don't understand why they got 10. How is De'Aaron Fox the 10th best player coming in this league coming up? He's not even the best player on his team. How the fuck is he the best player, 10th best player in the league? He's not better than Sabonis. So how the fuck is he this? He hadn't proven jack shit to me. No, he hasn't. Cowboys got me blowing up. Bam, bam, bam. Friday Freakout in full effect. Yeah. Yeah, that was a little Jonte-esque there. I went off on Jonte like a week ago, and it sounded like what I just did. Yeah. Yeah. Not like us. Not like us. No. DeMar came out and clarified even more clearly his stance and where he's at because he's in the Kendrick Lamar video. You know, this is what DeMar said. He said he really did the video to kind of unify Compton. That a lot of what was happening with him at that concert with James Harden and Kendrick, and there were both members of both of the gangs, the Blood and the Crips, were there. So a lot of what DeMar was doing is like, it's kind of more about like unifying Compton, is what he was saying. Now, he's totally cool with Drake. He's not mad at Drake. I don't think he's mad at us either. In some ways, Kendrick using him for that one lyric at that one point about how we didn't deserve D Rose. Well, I mean, I get why you say that, but all right, we got a championship. And Kendrick, once again, you can be all salty and mad about what happened with DeRozan, but we still love him. He's still a hero up here, and we still want to retire his jersey, and we still want to like celebrate his amazing career with the Raptors, because he did have a very amazing career with us. So, I mean, there's no reason to shit on all this. I like that you want to have unity for your city, and that Kendrick and DeMar have known each other for most of their lives. I like all that. I have no problem with that. It's just in some ways, DeMar, I know, listen, if I hear you say good things about the city of Toronto and the Raptors fans in the future, I'll know we're good. Because I know you're cool with Drake. You've made that clear. But in some ways, you haven't totally made it clear that you're cool with us. I think you are, because you haven't really gotten mad at us. It's like, I don't know. It's very confusing. I think, once again, DeMar is not thinking on a higher level about his participation in Kendrick Lamar and all the possible takes or perspectives that come from this, like mine. And in some ways, he's innocent of this. He's not really trying to hurt anybody or try and be like this. So that's what I would say about it. It seems like DeMar is not like really like antagonistic or amped up in it. It's all about peace and positivity, his participation in Kendrick Lamar's video. That's what he said in an interview. So there you go. There you go. Nako's here. Oh, hey, did I come into some heat? Gerald saw this. Yeah. You came into, I was throwing some 105 miles per hour fastballs here. Yeah. All right, Gerald, I'm going to give you a duck just for your funniness there. Gerald's funny, man. I could hear that in Gerald's voice when you said that. You got the Norman Powell 24, my guy. There you go. Norman Powell 24/7 there. Yeah. Fiercely saying Lex equals passion at its finest. Thank you, Fiercely. I appreciate that. I'm sure that a lot of y'all could really stand behind what I was just saying. You know, it is really true. The disconnect between what we get to see up in Canada on Canadian TV and what the Americans are seeing about Scotty is way different. And, you know, they can go ahead and say their reality is the truth, but it's not. You have to understand we're seeing it all here. And you guys are not. They're not showing Scotty properly. If they put him on blast like they put somebody like Jason Tatum on blast, y'all would understand better. But it's a media machine not making a propaganda or packages together to enhance their image. And in some ways, Scotty has to go through that to really carve out his place. He's about it. In some ways, he's a really smart guy. He's going to be worldwide and global in certain ways. Him going to China this summer was so smart. He's building his brand globally. And in some ways, he understands the advantage of being in Canada better than like a lot of the xenophobic dumbasses like Gilbert Arenas and Paul Pierce. So there's a footage that came out recently of Andre Drummond saying some stupid ass shit, saying that he was glad that Terrence Ross got drafted to Toronto instead of him. And he was sweating. He was like, oh my gosh, what do I have to do there? Well, there's another dumbass that just shows a low IQ and not a very good worldly perspective with just being dismissive about going to Toronto because it's the Canadian team. Yeah, Andre Drummond, you're on that list now. It's too bad. Because in some ways, I thought you were kind of a good, goofy guy. But I'm glad Scotty did the penguin to you now. You deserve that penguin. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, that was awesome when Scott did that. You guys remember when he did that to Andre Drummond? He did the penguin to him. That was hilarious. That was so good. Cowboy saying, Masai doesn't just build a team. He builds a family and a culture. Let's grow. That's right. That's right. This is, oh, my gosh. I'm not taking no Masai bashing from nobody. Nobody. especially from an ESPN writer. No, I'm not. Now, Angry Mexican saying passionate rage. Do you feel that you have to defend Canada versus American fans a lot? Well, you know what? This is the thing, Angry Mexican. As somebody, I don't know where you live exactly. I'm going to guess you live in North Carolina. And I'm going to guess because of your name that you're a person of Hispanic descent. Now, I don't know what kind of obstacles you have to face living in the United States with racism or people prejudging you as far as your background. I don't know what you have to face. I am a person of white color, and in some ways, I don't have to face some certain things. So think about that and understand that this guy grew up in Florida as a Canadian. Yeah. A very openly saying, I'm Canadian. I'm not American like you guys. And I wasn't American. I was the kid with the green card. And in some ways, yeah, I defended Canada since I was a child against crazy Americans who had all kinds of crazy ideas about what Canada was and talking to me like I was a lesser class citizen, even though, I'm a Canadian guy. I just lived down there. I'm just a kid. But I was made to feel like an outcast very young just because of my national citizenship. So, yeah, this is something that has been bred into me or just conditioned into me since I was a child, because I've been defending Canada against Americans in American soil since I was a young person. So, yeah, that's it right there. That's it right there, Angry Mexican. And I don't know if you can cross parallels any kind of things from your life. And I'm not saying they're equal, because I have no idea. You maybe have dealt with racist situations that are absolutely awful that I did not have to deal with in certain ways. In fact, I would be the white guy who's in the conversation with other white guys down south, and they start using the N-word, and I'd be like, yeah, peace out. I have nothing to do with y'all, because I ain't got nothing to do with people that use that word, first of all, and talk about black people the way y'all are talking. That's just been me since I was a kid. I've always been this guy, standing for everybody. And yeah, standing up for my country in the United States against crazy ass rednecks or racists in Florida. Yeah, that's where it comes from right there. And I appreciate you being here today. Let's see. Fiercely saying legendary 10-pointer for Leg. Do you want me to have a 10-pointer for going off? It was pretty good. It was really, really good. I hope Shannon takes it all in just good jest. In some ways, some of it, Shannon, is part of what I do on this channel. If people step to me and they start talking about the Raptors in certain ways, I will be protective of them and I will go off. In some ways, I want you to come in here and talk to me in person so we can hear both sides of the story. And I do like the discourse, the debate back and forth. So it's all due respect. If I was insulting to you at some point and there's something you took personally, please let me know and I will apologize for it. I am Canadian. So how about that? I got the George Mike in 99, guys. Or maybe the Wayne Gretzky, because I am Canadian. I got the Wayne Gretzky 99. I met Wayne Gretzky once. He's cool. He's a cool guy, Wayne Gretzky. He's very, very cool. Wade Wilson's here. Good to see a new name in the chat every day. We're talking Raptors, 9:30 a.m. But tomorrow we'll be on the afternoon. Live coverage of the Team Canada versus Greece game at 3 o'clock. I'll be calling the game, play-by-play, during the game. So if you want that audio, Wade, check in with me tomorrow. I'll be calling the game live while it's on, and it'll be a lot of fun. Legendary 10-pointer. Yeah, New York fan, you're a clown, is what Wade Wilson said. Down to you, Wade. Nice, great first one in there. Alley-oop to me. All right, I got a 10-pointer. I'm good. Fiercey saying, yes, Cowboy. Alley-oop to you. Culture above everything. All right, we'll give one to Cowboy. How about that? Fiercey's going to give one to Cowboy. I'll do that. 79 dunks for the Canadian Cowboy. That's right. There we go. Naco the Nacho saying these third-year players that are getting these contracts aren't being overpaid, given that you need to retain your players. But Scott has the most valuable contract and is the best player. Yeah. I mean, this is what I would say about this. A lot of the problem is that, once again, the new TV deal is having an impact already, that these are projections for the years to come and the revenue that's going to be coming in this. Now, you can't gauge old deals from last year or 5 years from before and say, oh, these guys are overpaid. No, the money's bigger. And this is just showing that. In some ways, the money that Emmanuel and Scotty got is commiserate with the growth of the league and how much the revenue went up with the new TV deals. And that's all this is. All these guys are going to get paid this kind of stuff. And yeah, sure, some of them are going to look bad. And they're going to look like, wow, that's an overpay. That's really messing up that team. That's just how the NBA is. But I'll put money on our guys, just like Masai and Bobby did, that they're not going to be the guys that look bad. Emmanuel Quickly is just too hardworking, too good. I think New York fans can agree with me on that. And Scotty Barnes, well, you guys will have to educate yourself further on who he is exactly. because they haven't showed you the true Scotty down there. That's right. It's good, great comment, Nako. I think you're exactly right. And yes, Bryce, there was a mic drop earlier, but I don't want to drop it because it's expensive and I like it. It's a very nice mic. I think I mic dropped the other day and it messed up my audio after that. So I'm not messing with the mic like I did the other day. Wade saying Knicks fans don't know championship basketball. That's not his fault. Boom. All right, Wade. I like this. He just like took a jab at them and I love it. All right, here we go. We're going to give Wade Wilson a rookie today coming in first time. I haven't seen you in the chat before. You're getting a dunk. That's a beautiful thing. Actually, I'm gonna give you a 3-pointer. You got the DJ Carton 3, Wade Wilson. There you go. Yeah, I think that's funny. I mean, I won't disagree with him. I mean, all right, we'll think about the Phil Jackson, Walt Frazier, Earl Monroe, Knicks of the 70s. Fantastic heyday for that team. In some ways, they wish they could recapture that. In some ways, the age of Ewing was frustrating, but it was also rewarding and somewhat successful, getting to certain places. Patrick Ewing is an amazing person. I've always liked Patrick Ewing. I think that in the history of the Knicks, he's one of the most important Knicks, obviously, in the history of the Knicks. And then you can talk about different eras since then. You can get into like Carmelo time and yeah, there's been a lot of problems in New York, and it's exactly what I said earlier. There's a lot of people who have fancy designs for what the Knicks should be doing, and they're all trying to put their hand on steering the steering wheel. And you don't get anywhere when you do that. You don't get anywhere with sports franchise when you do that, and you don't get anywhere in politics either when people don't work together and actually get things accomplished. So that's part of it right there, right there. Yeah, Wade, really appreciate you being here today. Mic drop. Yeah, boom. Trevor saying, Lex, you put that smackdown on New York B-boy fan. I'm glad y'all think that. Seriously, that was fun. It's fun. I don't mind getting incredibly worked up sometimes, but I have to control my anger and my temper. And in some ways, it's a healthy outlet, I think. Is it? I don't know. Nako saying fourth-year players getting these contracts. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We knew what you mean. Yeah. Seymour saying, Lex, do you think Westbrook will work in Denver? This is a fun question. Thank you, Seymour, for your question. I don't know. It depends on – it's like, all right, we got to think about who he's coming in to replace. It's KCP. KCP had a certain specific role for that team that I don't think Russell will fit as far as like an outlet shooter that's going to just make shots on the outside. That's not the build of Russell Westbrook. What Russell Westbrook's a guy who needs to have the ball in his hand. He's an attacker, and he's not a really good catch and shoot guy from the pass from Jokic. So, yeah, there are concerns I have about the fit with this Seymour because he's not replacing players that left. In some ways, he's like a souped-up Bruce Brown for them at this point. It's like, okay, we're not bringing back Bruce Brown, but let's get Russell Westbrook and see if he can fill that role. Now, is what Russell going to start? That's a big question. Is he going to continue to come off the bench for the Nuggets? That may be smart because in some ways they might want to have a starter chemistry that excludes Russell Westbrook, and he becomes a sixth man, and he comes in, and that could work then. But yeah, I don't know if this fits. In some ways, how much can the unselfishness of Jokic make up for the very strange play of Russell Westbrook and what he does for a team? You can ask Laker fans how they feel about how Westbrook adds to your team. And I'm not saying this is going to be successful for sure. I have questions. But if a team can do this, the Nuggets probably could with Jokic and Coach Malone trying to help guide Russell. He could be a huge problem, though. He could be a real distraction for them and absolutely hurt their team camaraderie also. So it's a gamble. It's a bit of a gamble, I would say. Yeah. Fiercely saying, this is your disaster book. This is your disaster book. Oh, that's funny. Fiercely saying, Nick Nurse saying, good luck with these guys. And, well, good luck with this new roster. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens with the Sixers with Paul George. Paul George, oh, man, that's fool's gold right there. I love what Beverly said recently. Patrick Beverly coming out and saying this about Paul George. This is what he said. Paul George doesn't listen to criticism very well. Paul George was approached by Patrick Beverly when they both played on the Clippers, and he said to him, you didn't play that right. You missed your assignment. And basically Paul George was like, what are you talking about? I did everything perfect. There's a disconnect there. It's weird because players revere him. A lot of players love him and Carmelo. They're like, oh, these are players. We love Paul George. If I could be more like Paul George, it's because of his moves. It's because of some of the stuff he does offensively. But that really does say a lot. The Patrick Beverly story that's come out in the last couple of days about Paul George not taking criticism very well or listening to criticism. It's kind of like he's deaf to it. So that's an interesting aspect about Paul George. Now he's saying he's coming into Philadelphia. I'm ready for all the criticism in the world. All right. Let's see how you feel about Nick Nurse reaming you out at some point, because he will. He probably will ream you out for a poor defensive effort at some point, just like he did to some of the Raptors players in the last couple of years before he went to Philly. So, yeah, expect that, Paul George. You really want criticism? And where the fuck do you get off wearing a Where's Waldo for October, for a Halloween? And you know that's going to be what they post when you disappear in the playoffs for the Sixers next year. Yeah, you know that's what's going to happen. Right there, right there. Yeah, yeah. Seymour's got eye candy 100%. I like that. Andrew's saying watch every Raptors game. Then he should know about RJ's brother, IQ's uncle, Scotty's injuries, Yak's injury, Jonte starting Malik Williams 9 hours after signing him. Constant lineup. He just boom goes a dynamite. Andrew gets a dunk once again. That's right. This guy should have known about this stuff if he was watching. And seriously, the second half of the Raptors season last year is not the one to go engage the Raptors ecosystem and what's going on with us. That's part of the problem. Is a lot of the New York fans started watching us afterwards, and that was absolutely the worst part of the season when Scotty and Jakob were out. I mean, Scotty going out and seeing how badly we were afterwards should show you how much he's important. Seriously, Andrew, you got a 3-pointer just now. You're at Kyle Lowry 7 now. You're rising up today with good comments, man. I love it. Yeah, alley-oop to eye candy. You want me to give Fiercey a dunk? Also, I'll do that. Why not? We'll give Fiercey another dunk too. We got the dunks. We're dunking. We're dropping mics. We're doing all kinds of stuff today on the Raptor Freak channel. 160. Fiercey, 160 dunks. There you go. Randolph's here. Friday blessings to our beloved Raptors Freaks. Most informative gang. Sufficient is the trouble of each day. Let's deal with the troubles of today. Don't borrow from tomorrow. Boom. Goes the dynamite. Randolph with big time words of wisdom. Stay present. You know, you can have regrets and feelings that you've fucked up in the past, but man, you can't change it. Go forward and just make sure you avoid making the same mistake. In some ways, this is exactly right. In some ways, we've got something in front of us every single day when we get up that we have to go and take care of. And in some ways, you can get distracted or mess up what you presently have to take care of because you're too hung up on what happened already. So you go ahead, Randolph Phillips. I'm going to give you a dunk for great words of wisdom. I'm just in a give a dunk mood. So we're going to see where Randolph's at right now. He's at 33. Well, we're going to put you at 34. You got the Charles Oakley 34. There you go. I like to see that. That's right. Andrew's saying last year was so hectic, not to mention all the trades. Yeah. There's nothing about the Raptors season last year that was normal. And anybody trying to gauge anything about it. I told the guy, I was like, go watch a career highlights of him. Seriously. Just go and see some of the very special ways he blocks shots. He passes the ball. He makes big-time shots. He steals the ball. The way he plays team defense. There's a lot of stuff that people that only value offense and three-point shooting are not going to see in Scotty. And that's part of the reason why there's a disconnect and why they don't understand why he's so good. They're like, this guy doesn't seem that good. Well, have you looked at his overall stats when they're compared to Giannis Antetokounmpo's? That's what I have to tell people. It's like, look at his stats. In some ways, Scotty's hitting benchmarks in his third year that only Luka and Giannis hit. So you tell me, why is he in the same category with those two names in this league? And he is not a face of the franchise or even a face of the league? I'm telling you, he is, because his stats tell us this. And it's the only reason why he isn't is because he plays in Canada. That's it right there. Yeah, Andrew's coming correct today. Yeah, let's see. Carlos saying that New York fan yesterday says he watched every game after the trade. Scotty was pretty much injured that part of the season. Exactly. And even that part where after the trade, in some ways, Scott was doting to those guys to let them get more comfortable and fit in faster. In some ways, Scotty was very much letting Emmanuel and RJ get more accomplished and ready and feeling good by letting them, deferring to them. That's part of the reason why Scotty is our face of the franchise, is because he is like Joe Biden. He will step aside for the common good. And in some ways, Scotty's not that kind of leader that's just going to be like Trump and say, me. No, he's a giving person who's going to give to the other guys. And in some ways, he's going to elevate RJ himself. So that's the craziest thing about the argument I'm having with this guy, is that in some ways, Scotty's going to make RJ better than he was in New York. Watch. He will. Watch. He will. That's right. Nako's saying RJ's assist-to-turnover ratio drastically improved with Toronto. A few career highs for RJ with the Raptors. I kind of scratch my head a little when people say IQ is better than RJ. I love IQ. Well, I honestly see them kind of the same in some ways. I don't know. In some ways, I don't like ranking our Raptors against each other. It's been ambiguous over the last couple of years who the best Raptor was, whether it was Pascal, Fred, Scotty, OG. They were all pretty, like, we had concentrated talents right around the same thing. So I will give this to Shannon from New York. Scotty's not that much better than RJ and Emmanuel. In fact, I think that they're very close. In some ways, yeah. On some given nights, RJ's going to look like the face of the franchise. On some given nights, IQ will look like the face of the franchise. I'd love to see Grady or Jacoby Walters step up and look like the face of the franchise on certain nights too. That's the thing. Scott is sharing his leadership, and that's why he's the perfect person to be the face of the franchise, because he doesn't mind if somebody else steps in and looks like the face of the franchise for a certain particular moment or game. So that's part of it right there. And there's no denying that both Quickly and Barrett's stats got better when they came to Toronto after they left New York. Whether it's Emmanuel getting starter minutes and increasing it because of that, or RJ just shooting better and doing better in most of his categories than he did for the Knicks. Both of them had career kind of shit once they came to Toronto. That's just the damn truth. That is just the damn truth right there. Carlos saying Scotty has the potential to be like a Jokic in a forward's body. Yeah, I won't disagree with that. That is not an unfair comparison. That is not an unfair comparison at all. So, yeah, let me see. I lost my place. Let me come back and see where we're at. I like to see so many different names in the chat. And, Seymour saying Cowboy is my trading places brother, Scarborough to Calgary. You guys want to trade places? Why don't you just come back? Come on back, Seymour Pape. Come on back to the city, Slicker. Come on now. Bring your New York's Mets hat back to the city, Billy Crystal. And come back. Jack Palance has had enough of you as a ranch hand. Come on back. It'd be fun. I'm always encouraging people to come back to Toronto area. Of course, yeah. Let's see. Carlos saying, I love Freakout Fridays. Let's get me pumped up. I mean, I want to get more pumped up about the Olympics. The Olympics are going to be a lot of fun. But yeah. You guys like seeing me get rage-filled freakouts? Tommy say, let's go. There you go, Canada. Let's go, Canada. And he's got the oil drums of 100% Canadian maple syrup. Hopefully we can pour on nice thick leads on our opponents in the Olympic round to go further and further to the medal round and win a big-time medal at the Olympics in Paris. That's right. Get that maple syrup tapped out of the tree, Tommy, and ready and prepared to pour it on thick. That's right. That's what I'm saying. 100% Canadian. That's right. That is right. Carlos saying, can we give Scotiabank a two-finger salute? I haven't received my pay today and no ETAs. Okay, yeah. Here you go, Scotiabank. Yeah, you big-time bank, my personal bank. Yeah, I have problems with them too. Like, I don't like how you guys charge me money from you holding my money. I need to take my money out of your bank and do something else with it. Maybe it needs to go to the mattress. Yeah, no more banks for Lex. I'm going paper instead of paperless. I'm defying the overlords. In some ways, what happened to Butt Dial this week, it shows exactly why they want more of this kind of stuff. Because these big companies are getting crazy money from people from mistakes, whether it's a drunk Amazon order in the middle of the night, whether it's a butt dial on somebody's phone. Their money is accidental money. I'll bet you there's a category that these big corporations look at and say, yeah, our accidental sales went up this year, because now this is part of the reason why I don't have tap on my debit card. This is part of the reason why I don't want to pay for anything by just scanning something so unconsciously. In some ways, when you spend money that way, when you don't tangibly have it in your hands and you're just going somewhere, you may spend more because it's not real to you. And that's part of why they're making this paperless, moneyless thing. Sure, it's good for the environment not to have to print so much money, but don't get it twisted. Companies have figured out, whether it's a gift card that you give somebody for Christmas, and no gifts are exactly what that gift card is. How many fucking gift cards sit in somebody's house that have an amount on it that never gets spent? That's just profits that go to those companies like Best Buy that sell a gift card that just sits in a drawer that doesn't get spent. That it has a total on it that's still there, but that money's just in limbo. Well, it's already spent. The company already made it, and it doesn't care if you ever spend the $5.36 left on your Best Buy gift card from Christmas last year. There's all kinds of hidden ways the big powers that be in the corporations are stealing money from us. And a butt dial for a bunch of subscriptions on my channel, well, that helps YouTube and me. But and Kareem didn't intend to do that. And if he butt dialed some Amazon Prime order too, and that helps Bezos. But how does he get the money back? And if there's a refund, is there a bit of the money that he doesn't get back and they're holding anyway? You don't understand. If there's 1 million people getting robbed of a penny, that adds up to a lot of money. And they are robbing people for pennies and little half pennies in weird digital ways also. So there's all kinds of weird ways that big companies are ripping us off. And paperless and money systems like this, like Tap, are one of those ways. Trust me, they really are. You can go on about ATM fees and credit card fees and all that kind of stuff. We can go on about all that. Yeah. So there's a two-finger salute for Scotiabank and paperless banking. There you go. There you go. Boom. Ta-da. 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 Call 647-833-6844. You can call Bradley to get your house painted. There you go. He'll come and paint your house. Little pink houses for you and me. That's right. All right. See what I'm saying? The whole city of Jasper is sleeping in tents in a field in Calgary. It's sad. As a Canadian seeing this, I can send you pics, Lex. I don't want to see that. That's depressing as fuck. I don't want to see that. In some ways, I don't want to see that, Seymour. That's awful. And in some ways, politics and government of Canada has failed those people. And that's just sad. That is just sad. The forest fires are bad over there. There's a ton of them in BC. They're further north, and then there's a whole bunch of them around there. In some ways, forest fires are just something we're going to have to get used to because this world is not being properly respected for climate change. And in some ways, if we want to change this, we have to be smarter in what we're doing. And you know what? It's the oil companies. In some ways, it's the oil companies that cause these fires. I'm telling you right now, it's those oil companies that are out west that Alberta enriches itself off, or they're directly responsible for these fires also. Yeah, sad days, man. Better save your tears, too, with the water situation not fixed. Not a good look. Yeah, that just sounds like an impossible situation, Seymour. We are 100% behind you, and we wish you good wealth and health and luck. Seymour Pape for yourself. That's right. Brian saying, stayed in Jasper for 2 weeks. Beautiful place and great people. That's sorry. I'm sorry to hear that, King. That yeah, I mean, I hate this. I hate this happen. Natural beauty, natural landmarks destroyed because of our human bullshit and civilization. Yeah, King, I watched 2 of your recent clips yesterday. I left a comment on there. Good stuff with you and Coach Roach. I like what you guys are pointing out about barbecue. And really interesting to listen to you guys talking about the draft before the draft with all your experts and your predictions for it. And once again, Coach Roach is a draft expert. This guy really does know his stuff. And if you want to watch more Brian and to the point, watch Coach Roach, because that man does know how to gauge draft picks. Good job. I'm really impressed with Coach Roach. Every time I hear him talk on your show, I appreciate him. It was funny to see Skip in that one little part too for that second there. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry to hear that, Seymour, from Carlo. James is saying, I hope Koloko comes back. Don't want any other free agents. I'm with James on this. Number one, Christian. We got to recap and recapture our second round pick he should be on our team. If somebody else gets the benefits of Christian Koloko, that's not right. I'm going to say that right now. James is saying, is Philly better than Boston this upcoming season? I don't think so. I'm not going to go after Boston this offseason because in some ways they proved themselves this year. As much as I hate to say it, the Celtics won the championship and they're bona fide. And in some ways, my storyline of Joe Mazzulla screwing them up didn't happen. And I'm sad about that. In some ways, I was really hoping Coach Joe would be the weak link in the picture of the Celtics, but he successfully coached them to the championship this year. In some ways, Tatum and Brown have been talking about how a lot of pressure's off of them in their professional lives now that they have gotten this. And that's true. That is true. But in some ways also, I'm not going to kiss the ass of the Boston Celtics for a year and also just write them in as repeat champions for this year. No, I don't believe that. Something's going to happen in some sort of way, something. Could be Porzingis related. Could be all kinds of different things. But I think that the Celtics are better than the Sixers still. I do. Until they prove something otherwise when they play them this season, I'm going to believe that because they're the incumbents. They're the champions. I got to give them due respect for that. So, yeah, the Celtics are the best team going in the season this year, but we'll see if that turns out to be the case by the end of the year. There's so much that has to be done in the 82-game season and how it's played. That's right. Brian saying Shannon's got to wipe his eyes from Le Flops creams and recognize our boy number 4. Yeah. I mean, listen, he said he's a Scotty fan. He's not trying to diss him. He doesn't understand why Masai deemed him the face of the franchise. Well, because we don't want press media bullshit like y'all do in New York. If we make it very clear, the hierarchy, then there's no muddling it. with the press filling it in. In some ways, that is something that happens in New York all the time. If it's whatever team it is, it doesn't have to be the NBA and the Knicks. It could be the Yankees. It could be the Rangers. It could be the Giants. It doesn't matter. There's always a way of picking apart teams and causing dysfunction by questioning who the true leader is. This is a thing that I've used extensively against Celtics Nation as far as Tatum versus Brown. It's very much a ploy by outside nations. Now, he can say he respects our team and he likes RJ and Emmanuel and Scotty, but a first priority for Shannon is the Knicks. And he wants the Knicks to win. And he feels real good probably about how they did what they did their offseason. I don't. But he feels real good. In some ways, maybe he's doing a little bit of the work I like to do by trying to start some bullshit between Scotty and RJ. No, we've got this figured out. It's all ordained. The president has said this. And RJ Barrett is a disciple of Masai Ujiri. He has been his whole life since he was a child. You don't understand this, Shannon. That RJ came to Raptors games as a child, met Masai Ujiri very young, and he says that he looks up to him as like a father figure, just like his father, and a mentor. So this is different than playing for Leon Rose. This is different than playing for Tom Thibodeau. This is playing for his dad and his mentor, Masai Ujiri. So I don't know if you understand this. And in some ways, once again, I'll say Kendrick's line: "You're not like us. We're Canadian, and we think about others first than ourselves quite often." And in some ways, New York may be thinking about get mine, Seymour Pape, myself, but we're not. And RJ's a very giving, team-oriented guy. And I think that you trying to tell me that you know RJ better than I do, I don't think you do. I don't think you do, because you don't understand what a 905 man is like in the GTA and what we're all about here in Toronto. In some ways, if you don't come here, you don't see the way the people live here together from all around the world as a one big melting pot. The melting pot of New York sold to us, the dream of that. I don't know. Is that true still? Because it is here. And I know that Toronto has been voted or not voted. It's just statistically the most diverse city in the world now. We recently overtook London and New York for that moniker. So I'm just saying, I mean, you may not understand RJ as much as you think. Let's just put it that way. That's right. Seymour saying F Boston, F Philly, and the Knicks, F the Nets, rely on the side. That's right. Fuck Brooklyn. Yeah, I'll say that. I'll say that, Seymour, for sure. Most saying news and notes, 3 and 4. Day 3 and 4, Jama and Matt Bonner at the Raptors of Basketball Academy. Okay, cool. Yeah, they're having that Raptors Basketball Academy this week. Oshai was there earlier this week. Matt Bonner, the Red Rock, showing up. And also assistant coach Jama. Very, very good stuff. Always love that event. That's great for the youngsters. And basketball in Toronto is still strong with the Pro-Am last night at Mattamy Center and the Raptors Academy going on. Yeah. Fiercely saying number 4 is the future face of the league. That's exactly right. Darko is not facetious or being stupid when he says that in an interview when he's angry at the Lakers. In some ways, Scotty Barnes is a face in this league. When he said that in anger, he meant it. Scotty Barnes is an all-star. Scotty Barnes is a face of this league. When he said that, he meant that. And he didn't mean that it was a complete crap. That's right. That's right. Fiercely saying Seymour wishing Albertans well. See, that's right. We were wishing them well over there. That's the Canadian way right now. That's right. Trevor saying Embiid on older teammates on the U.S. Olympic team, they are not what they used to be. Yeah, Embiid's been throwing like shade on people around him on the team in certain ways. Like there's this really dumb clip where they interviewed the Team USA guys on their nicknames. And it's kind of cool. Like I kind of talked to Kevin Durant yesterday because he posted a picture of him and Steph Curry, and he's asking, "Do I look happy or sad in this?" Well, to be honest, you look high, but you also look on the download smiling, like fake pain smile, and you do kind of have a sadness in your eyes, Kevin. I was trying to be honest, but I think you're awesome, and I think you should be allowed to be whatever mood you are. And people overanalyzing how you feel and stuff like that, that's not their job. It's not their business. Your business is basketball. Put the ball in the hoop, and that's all you need to do. So they're asking about the nicknames, and Durant's saying that he likes the Slim Reaper name. He feels like he didn't earn it earlier in his career, but now he does. And some people are saying, "Oh, you call him Slim Reaper? We call him Easy Money Sniper." And then, like, of course, Joel, the dummy, in that clip, he's saying the process is the best nickname here. Motherfucker, your process has been a failure. I can't even believe that you own that nickname. If I was you, I wouldn't want to be called the process. Because in some ways, it shows that you're not getting anywhere. Because a process is a process. And it means like you're processing. Okay, process. Where is the finished product? You're in the fucking process of just falling all over the place like a big dumb goof and hurting people like Danny Green and ending their careers. What are you in the process of? It's not a nickname you should be proud of. I don't know if you understand what process means. It means like you're in the middle of it. You're not there yet. Because you, in some ways, you're not ever going to get there because you're a big dummy and you don't take care of your body right on the court because you flop around like a fish. And in some ways, you coming out and saying, "Oh, the process is the best nickname on Team USA," you're crazy. You're crazy. When you got Slim Reaper and Chef Curry, and as they said, King James is king, of course. Yeah, you're crazy, Embiid. Crazy, man. Cowboys saying Ulrich Shumshay is my favorite draft pick since Scotty. This young man is special. He's going to be learn so much from Yak and this Raptors family. I believe he'll be an all-star sooner than later. Mic drop. There you go. Right. Yeah, I like Shumshay a lot too. And yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time, but he's coming. And maybe this is exactly why there's a hit piece on ESPN about the Basketball Africa League right now. Yeah, maybe this is exactly why. They see Shumshay and his promise, and they're like, oh, crap, this pipeline could be bad. In some ways, they want the nepotism of having more of the spots go to Americans. You know, in some ways, you know, the State Department of the United States is thinking about economics with these huge contracts. And they start seeing the trend of more international players being the top players in the league. They're like, how can we stop this? How can we make America more strong? They think this kind of way with like the car industry. Like, we need to make Ford stronger so they can fight against Toyota. You know, bullshit like that. It's that mentality. So in some ways, there's a basketball arms race. And Canada is coming up in it, and they're having more prominence. So in some ways, we're a threat. Let's put some black on their jersey. Let's not let them get any publicity in the States. And Canada, well, do your job, hockey establishment, and bury them. You know, there's a lot of stuff out there that in some ways, that's part of the reason why they won't make SGA the MVP over Jokic. That's part of the reason why Jamal Murray's not an all-star yet. That's part of the reason why Kawhi Leonard is not on Team USA. You know, it's bullshit. It's bullshit because in some ways they're trying to hold back certain things, whether they're trying to hold back Scotty Barnes and who he is, whether they're trying to hold back the Basketball Africa League, whether they're trying to hold back the Raptors just in general. You know, it's all there. It's all there. And we can see this. And Shamshay scares the hell out of people. The people in the know like me, the scouts, the basketball people, they see him. They're like, holy shit, look at this. And you know what? Masai's got an unfair advantage. This kid's coming up and saying he's a Raptors fan. And Pascal Siakam is his favorite player. All these kids from Africa are going to want to be on the Raptors. What the fuck is that going to mean? The Raptors are going to be a good team. Do I have to be Brian Winders to Winders this shit? Seriously. So open your eyes and understand what they're doing. And that piece on the president of Rwanda that's on the front page of ESPN right now, yeah, realize where that's coming from. Realize where that's coming from. That's right. Seymour's saying eye candy. Eye candy. He loves that eye candy 100%. Butt dial is here. Butt dial. Proven the corporations will steal your money one way or another. When Embiid hits retirement, he should become a comedian because his career has been nothing but laughs. Yeah. Yeah, he's ridiculous. I mean, in some ways, he should be honored to be on Team USA, but he's shading his teammates while he's there, too. Like, he shaded Tatum and the Celtics and their championship. Who the fuck are you to say anything about their championship? In this way, I would like to be on Sixers side because I hate the Celtics. But in some ways, you're wrong on this one, Embiid. How the fuck can you shade the champions with who you are and your resume? Nah, dog. Joel's an idiot, honestly. I don't even know what he's thinking when he says stuff like that. And I hate the Celtics. All right, Nako's saying this is what he sees the East. And in some ways, I painfully will say this, even though I don't agree with them. Celtics 1, Bucks 2. Yeah, Bucks are number 2. They're not that good. Pacers 3. I like that. If we put Pacers 2nd, I would be okay with that. Sixers 4th. Okay, that's probably about right. Knicks 5th in terms of how good of a basketball team they are. I don't know if this is exactly right. And there may be teams that you're excluding from the East that may need to be considered in this. I would say Orlando may be one of the teams that may need to be considered. And why not us? Why not us? We could be a top 5 team in the East. Some people would say, Lex, you're crazy now. You're absolutely crazy if you think the Raptors can be a top 5 team in the East. I don't know. I would say it. Why not? I'm going to write some blank checks of saying, hey, I think this is what's going to happen in the NBA. And I don't have to be right. It's the season. We'll have to see how it goes. If the Raptors are a top 5 team, hey, they're a top 5 team. Angry Mexican saying, do you think it was a good move for America to trade Victor Bout, a Russian arms dealer, for Brittany Griner? I don't think an average Joe would have gotten so lucky. I think you're right. But then again, this is the kind of the way they do this. They really want to have these trades of prominence. Yeah, a lot of people had problem with that, but I didn't. I thought that that was the right thing. Brittany was wrongfully over there, and in some ways, she's an American, just like I am. And if something's happening to people abroad in certain ways, the American government has pledged to do certain things for its citizens. They got to do what they got to do. Now, I understand. It's the problem here is you guys can villainize the Americans for trying to get her out, but the whole problem here is Vladimir Putin. It's just as simple as that. The only person that's in trouble or a problem in this whole situation is the fuckface that's running Russia and the fascist dictator that invaded Ukraine. So don't try and blame Brittany Griner for doing what she did and getting her situation. Don't blame the U.S. government for getting a guy released, the butcher or whatever his fucking name is. Blame Vladimir Putin because he is the beginning of it all and he is the cause of it all. Right there. There you go. Alley-oop to butt dial. All right, we'll give butt dial an alley-oop. Where is he on here? Kareem is going to get an alley-oop. He's at 206. 206 dunks for Kareem Thomas. Let's see. Bryce is saying, laughing at Kareem. But I was saying, all I want to see from Scotty this year is attacking the rim like RJ. Scotty can get 8 to 12 points just from free throw line attempts. I'm getting stronger. Yeah, listen, it's going to happen. Scotty, the changes are going to be here. In some ways, he'll learn how to use his body more and more in certain ways to absolutely change the game. And the thing is, he can do it in any diversity of a way. And that's the thing that people aren't realizing down south is he can do that kind of stuff. Cowboy saying, you ain't him. Scotty going to say it all day. He's going to say it to some other people like Quentin Grimes, who did just get recently picked up, guys. Quentin Grimes getting picked up by the Nets. So I think either he went there or wait, where did he go? I'm getting him confused with Killian Hayes, aren't I? In some ways, they're both jabronis. They're neither one of them. That's right. Yeah, that's right. But I was saying, the more I say it, the less I like it. All right, you're a monster on the boards for rebounds and dunks. So I can't give you that one, but that's pretty funny. Bryce is saying, so excited for a full year with this team, man. That's the other thing that people aren't keep taking into account. Last year, the first year of Darko was a learning year, a tumultuous year, a year that was not smooth in all kinds of different ways. This year, he's going to come into training camp really kind of knowing his nucleus and the game plans, and this could have a lot of difference. In some ways, people like Kelly Olynyk, Manuel Quickly, they come in and they know what they're working towards and understand it's going to be so much more organized. Seriously. Seymour saying Shaden ripped Chauncey ripped Shaden. I've heard something about this. I don't know the exact story, so I won't opine on it. Cowboy saying alley-oop to Bryce. Raptors are back, baby. Raptors are back. All right, we'll give Bryce a dunk, although Cowboy saved some balls on the rack. All right, you're getting the Magic Johnson 32 since I did the illusion about Scotty. Let's see. Butt Dial saying alley-oop to Neon Moon. All right, you guys are going crazy. We're going to put Bradley at 80. 80 dunks for Bradley. Let's keep going. Alley-oop to Wade Boom. Who's Wade Boom? I don't know who that is. Let's see. Most saying W stream, W vibes. Okay, I'm right at the cutoff. Keep at it always. Good times approaching. Good times are here. Go Raptors for life. Raptor Freak Family Cruise strong forever. There you go. Go Canada. I love it, Mo. You're exactly right. Y'all have written a bunch of stuff afterwards, but we'll go a little longer today. Cowboy saying putting Mo and me on blast and saying later, family. Hope Uncle St. David came up on top. Let's go Canada and Raptors all day, every day. I want to see when David returns to the chat. Where the fuck are you, Commissioner Trivia, David Saborin? Come on, man. You haven't even told me what's up and when you're going to come back. In some ways, I need you to do your job. But Dallas got the Team Canada on blast. I love it. Sorry, just making use of my membership. For sure, do that. It's for sure. You earned it. You earned it. So put all those emoticons in there. Carlos saying, imagine a hybrid of Jokic and Giannis as Scotty's potential. Yeah. I agree. I agree completely with this. That's what we're paying that big contract for. That's right. He's going to earn it. Trust me. He's going to earn it. You know, Scotty told me personally on his Twitch after he signed the contract, he was really feeling good. Of course, he just signed a huge amount of wealth into his life. And he said this straight up to me. He said, Raptor Street, I really take this contract extension very seriously. The fact that the Raptors have invested this amount of money into me as a player is I don't take lightly. And I want to tell you that I really feel very responsible for holding myself to a high standard and playing hard and doing the best I can for the Toronto Raptors, for the city of Toronto, for the Raptors fans, and for my teammates. That's what Scotty said personally to me. in his Twitch chat the day after, or the day he signed his contract. He actually went on later that day and visited with us after he signed the contract. He felt so good. He felt like dancing and singing. And he said that to me. He said straight up, because he understands who I am and what I'm doing on this channel. And he wants to make sure that his voice and what he's trying to say to people gets out there. And he knows that I'll amplify it through my channel. So I'm telling you right now, Scotty does not take this new contract extension lightly. He's not some unconscious young NBA player that is just kind of, yeah, I got that bag and woo, no, it's not like that. Sure, he's got a Kalani Jewelers ad out in the last day or so where they hooked him up with the most shiny, rock-filled grill in his mouth. It's amazing. It's beautiful. But that's more Kalani Jewelers being like a huge sponsor of the Raptors and wanting to give gifts, just like Nat Bhatia would give a car to the Raptors. I don't know if Scotty paid for money for that thing, how much he paid for it, or Kalani Jewelers is just saying, here you go, Scott. Maybe it was a custom piece he had ordered up and he paid for it. But either way, Scotty getting invested like this by Masai, he doesn't take this lightly. He's very serious about this, and he's not one of these guys that's just going to be like, yeah, I got the bag, I'm good. No. That's the thing that Masai's been very good about figuring out with players. Yeah, if I give you the money, you can get lazy. Well, did Siakam get lazy when he got a bag from us? No, he didn't. And did Fred? No, he didn't either. So he understands how to choose guys that are going to continue to work their ass off and be an ultimate pro. And Scotty is one of them. He's one of them right there. That's right. That is one of them right there. That's right. Let's see what else you guys are saying. I see Mike has joined the chat a little late. Let's see what he's saying. Mike, Logical Raptors fanatic in the house. Project Truth always. We need a power forward with that open spot. I wouldn't mind Koloko back, but we got like 10 million to get a rotation power forward at the moment. Depth-wise, we need a power forward. That's interesting. So Okoro may fit that spot. Maybe Precious. Precious would be a fantastic reclamation, especially if it's a really good price. And Precious is coming back. The defensive prowess of Precious is so underrated in this league. He is such a good defender. And in some ways, we may want him back just purely for that. Maybe his role won't be the same with Malachi gone. Maybe it was Malachi's fault that Achua was doing what he was doing. Yeah, who knows? Carlos saying, who are our options at power forward? They're still available. Well, I just named two of them. Those are probably the two best ones. I would say Achua and Okoro are the two best ones. There are a couple other names on that list, but they're older and they're not really that flashy or exciting. I would say this also, even if we got Koloko back in that spot, in some ways we could shift Kelly down to power forward or backup power forward if we have so many centers. Think about it. And in some ways, Utah was doing that before Kelly came to us. They would play him with Kessler, and he'd be like the power forward, and Kessler's kind of more the center. So in some ways, we could do it within and just get Koloko back. Think about it that way. Yeah. Think about it that way. Mike's saying, or it's used in a Bruce trade, and we can get two players for Bruce, which opens opportunities. A 1-for-1 trade with a 23 million guy wasn't a move, in my opinion. You know what? That's a great point by Mike, too. Honestly, I'm going to give him a 3-pointer for that one, because I think he's dead on this one. That in some ways, Bruce Brown's such a big contract, we may need to keep that open roster spot, because if we do move Bruce, it may be for two players and fill in two good players for Bruce that are very helpful. So I think Mike's exactly right. 74 is the dunk sheet for Logical Raptors Fanatic now. Yeah. I was just saying, how do I find the FIBA schedule? I don't know. Go to Olympic website and just put in men's basketball, and they'll probably give you all the games. Now, apparently, CBC Gem is going to play most of the Olympic men's basketball games, besides Canada even. So if you're a huge Olympic basketball fan, you probably can get access to watch almost all the games. It just depends on how much time you want to invest in it in your life. If you want to go down that rabbit hole, you can, Bryce. It's there for you. Smooth saying, I don't know about you down in the South, though, as far as what you can get to as far as in your territory in Kentucky. So you have to see if the avenues to watch Olympic games are the same. Like, I hope you can watch the Canada games. At least you can listen to me call them. Smooth saying, Carlo, Robert Covington, Taylor Horton Tucker, and O'Shea Brissett. None of those guys I'm interested in. I don't want any of those three. None of them. No, I don't. Smooth saying Brissett is more of a 3, but he can play the 4 as well. I mean, he's the one I would like the most out of them, but we've been there and done that with him. And in some ways, he's a champion with the Celtics. In some ways, he didn't make Team Canada. I don't know. I'd be more willing to revisit Birch over Brissett at this point in some ways. Yeah, but Dow's saying, what is it that sparked these forest fires? I know the heat, but is it the lavender? I heard it's pretty flammable. I have no idea. I'll just tell you this: that the extraction of the resources in the ground, the way that industry is that it causes environmental disasters because it takes up land and strips it of its natural greenery or natural stuff that would be there to help things. The more we destroy for development, the more it's anti helping with fires. Because if you don't have green breaks with your forestry, that actually the green trees and stuff can actually fight the forest because there's actual oxygen and there's actual water inside the trees. You know, if you chop a tree down or cut the grass, why is the grass wet? It's because there was a lot of water held in the grass. And so when it burns up, it's actually fighting the fire. So if you chop down clear cut forests, that's an actual fire buffer zone, but it'll travel real quick across grasslands that have been clear cut for development. So there's a lot of that. Now, I don't know if it's caused by man, if it's caused by thunder, if it's caused by what? Spontaneous combustion of lavender. I don't know what causes it specifically, but I'll tell you, you don't help the situation by destroying the environment that could protect you with fire breaks as far as green space and trees and stuff like that. Mike's and Bertans, Covington, Markieff Morris, Precious, Gallinari. Yeah, I'm not interested in Gallinari. I think he signed with somebody, didn't he? Bertans, yeah, I don't know what's going on with him. Who cares? Yeah, I don't want one of the Morrises. Precious is the one I would reacquire right there. I would say Precious Achua. Yeah. Let's see. Carlos saying, who do we want from those? Yeah, I would say Precious. That's me personally. Just reacquire Precious. I'm fine with that. I'd like to do that partly because I don't want New York to reacquire him, because in some ways he could help with the problem I was talking about for the Knicks. If he does reacquire him, I'm surprised they haven't just snapped him back up right away. Maybe they're hamstrung. Maybe they don't have anything in their roster for money because of the big contracts of Bridges and Anunoby this summer. So it could be that Precious is just on the outside looking in. And, well, I'd like to invite him back into the Raptors. I think he enjoyed being on the Toronto Raptors. I think that people liked him on our team. But maybe not. Maybe he's not welcome back because of maybe people think he's a dead end as far as getting better. I don't think he is. I think he has the potential to do major things in the NBA still. And that if we reacquired Precious, that I would not be upset about that. I know some Raptors fans would be, though. But they're honestly, they don't understand the potential that Precious has. In some way, we got Mobo. Let's get Precious back, too. We got Mobo, Scotty, and Precious out there running together. Oh, that's crazy. That's fun stuff. That's fun stuff right there, yeah. Seymour saying processed cheese is just fake as fuck. Most food is not real anymore. You go to the grocery store, buy things that your grandmother or great-grandmother would recognize. If it's some sort of crazy processed lab food, don't buy it. Whole foods, natural foods, direct from the farmers, direct from the people that are producing it is the best. Go to a farmer's market. Go to a lower grocery store. Don't go to Galen Weston stores. I go to a place called Vince's out here in Uxbridge because it's a local one. They buy local produce from local farmers, and I can buy it at a grocery store, and I can support a company that's not Galen Weston and Loblaws. So, you know, you can put your money where your mouth is. And you know, one of the ways you do it is buy healthy food. Don't buy junk. Be very conscious of what you're buying and understand just how much crap is in there, and realize how much that crap actually adds to bad health outcomes, like getting some bad diagnosis because you ate this bullshit that was made in a lab. I'm telling you, yeah, processed cheese is just fake as fuck. Mike is saying, Bleacher Report is saying that Ingram trade Pirtle, Brown, Bruce Brown in 2016 Indy first for Ingram and two filler guys. I don't know. That's a lot of money committed to just three guys. Could hurt us without knowing it's going to work. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really about getting Brandon Ingram if the price is crazy. Like Brown, okay, let's talk. But you're starting to talk about Pirtle. I understand that's who they'd want. In some ways, we got better center depth now, so it's maybe something we could kind of think about. But also at the same time, no, that price is too steep. And in some ways, what are the gains we get from Brandon Ingram coming to our team? What does he add to things? Does he step on some of the role of RJ Barrett? Because that's what I would say it probably would be that what happens. In some ways, do we actually really need him? In some ways, people say, well, you just want to be stocked as much with talent as possible. No, that's not the way the NBA is working these days. You want the puzzle pieces of the really big salary pieces in your cap to fit in the right way that makes sense to winning. And just getting the most talented players and trying to stack them on a team like the Clippers did last year, it's not going to work anymore. So I think it's fool's gold to try and get Ingram on our team because he'll stick out like a sore thumb. He won't fit in. And I don't think it would be right. As much as I would hope that Brandon would want to come to Toronto and play for us, I don't know if that's true. And in some ways, we don't want him to be a problem on the down low, especially if he's going to tie up a big chunk of our salary cap. So I'm in some ways not interested in the Ingram trade rumors at this point because I don't think it's necessary to get him. Yeah. Seymour saying Embiid is processed cheese. There you go. That's why you said processed cheese. It's fake as fuck. Yeah. You want to call him processed cheese? That's what we're going to call him now. The processed cheese. I am the process, Joel Embiid, the processed cheese. That's right. Carlos saying trading for Ingram has to be a win now and ahead of schedule move. And dealing Pirtle means we have a replacement center like Koloko. I think that that's exactly right by Carlo. That getting Ingram would be like a Kawhi move. And in some ways, we're not ready for that. We're not at the stage with our franchise rebuild to say, yeah, this is the time to make a flip and go for it. And that's what a Brandon Ingram move might be. I think that Carlo's exactly right. I'm going to give him a dunk for his astuteness because I think he's exactly right. 37 dunks for Carlo JS. Yeah, that is exactly right. Yeah, we're going to do a little extra time today. Why not? Mike saying quickly, RJ, Scotty, Ingram, Kelly will be the starting lineup, and the money is really tight to get another starting center. We would need to make another trade to replace Pirtle at the moment. Well, I don't know. We could probably get away with that lineup. Ingram would be the small forward. RJ would be the shooting guard. That would be a really interesting lineup. Kelly would be the center, and Scotty would be the power forward. So, yeah, I don't know. That lineup is not totally unattractive to me, but in some ways, once again, I know Pirtle fits with us. I don't know if Ingram does. That's the biggest thing. That's the risk right there. That's the risk. And like I said, I think Carlo's exactly right. You go and strike after another big superstar to add to your arsenal when you're closer to getting to that Larry O'Brien. That's what I would say there. Yeah, Mike's saying the defense isn't there in the starting lineup. It's offensive, but we won't be able to defend. Yeah, I don't like that. Let's not do that. Let's wait. And in some ways, maybe I don't know what Brandon Ingram's going to be doing in like 2 or 3 years from now when Pirtle's contract kind of is an expiring contract. And then maybe we trade him. And maybe by then, Shamshay or Koloko reacquired is all of a sudden in the picture as a starting center for us. So who knows? James is saying if we didn't have RJ, I would have been interested in Ingram. See, I'm with James on this. If we didn't have RJ Barrett on our team already, maybe I would be like, yeah, maybe we need to get Brandon Ingram. But I don't think we do. I think that RJ Barrett has the role that Brandon Ingram would kind of be filling if he came here. So Mike's saying maybe Covington is a good vet and is okay as a bench guy. Philly went for PG and didn't need him anymore. Yeah, when you say PG, I'm not going to think Paul George. I'm going to think point guard. Is I don't give him that kind of respect. But yeah, Covington, I'm not interested in. James is saying I would do a Bruce Brown for DeAndre Hunter from Atlanta, but I'm not sure what they're doing. Yeah, I don't think anybody knows what Atlanta's doing. They're weird. This whole thing, DeJounte Murray, their ambivalence about Trae Young and his future as being a Hawk. There's a lot of weird stuff going on with them. They made a very poor draft. Oh, yeah, Atlanta. Yeah, they are what they are. It is what it is. All right, I got to the end of the chat. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything that I wanted to talk about today. Let's see what's happening here. Yeah, that stupid article on ESPN that I talked about earlier. Let's see. Is there anything else on there I want to talk about? No, not really. Let's see. On Twitter, I didn't really look at the Twitter posts. Let me see if I can get Leo's life tips real quick and just see if there's anything else I want to react to. Serge Ibaka has signed with somebody, it looks like. I'm not sure who. Let's see. Wendy Sparks is this is 5. What was this? She's 5? What do you mean? How are you 5? Maybe she's like me and she's living the new life and she's got 5 years. That'd be great, Wendy Sparks, the mother of Cam Birch. Let's see. There's an article by Orrin Weisfeld on the basketball world is closing the gap on Team USA. This is the damn truth. And the scoring difference between Team USA games and other teams is way closer than it used to be. And that's exactly right. The Team USA back in 92 beat people by 40, 50 points. This team's beating teams by single digits. So don't tell me that the world isn't catching up. Seriously. That's right. Let me see. I don't think there's anything else on here. I can't find the Leo's life tips. Maybe he didn't do one today. Sometimes he goes late. Let's see. All right, there's the schedule for Canada. July the 9th, we're playing oh, that's the women's schedule. The men's schedule. To July the 27th, we're playing Greece. And then we're playing on the 30th against Australia. And then the 2nd of August, we'll play Spain. So be ready for that one. Let's see. Are any of our Canadians in the MVP ladder for women's basketball? Bridget Carlton is the 10th person on the MVP power rankings for the women's basketball in Paris. So Bridget Carlton is the most likely to be MVP on the women's basketball team. All right, let me see. Is there anything else? No, Twitter's kind of, oh, there it is. There's Leo. I don't pay attention to the world ending. It has ended for me many times and began again in the morning. There you go. I like that, Leo. Renew. Every day is a new day, and the past is the past. This is kind of like what Randolph was saying earlier. Is it? I won't pay attention to the world ending because it ends every day. Well, I love that. I love Leo Routen's coming through with his life tips in a major way once again. All right, I guess maybe I should get the classic card. Is there a birthday? Let me just look real quick. Let me see if there's a birthday today. We are the 26th. Yeah, guess whose birthday it is today, guys? It's Bebe's birthday. Oh, Lucas Nogueira of Brazil. Happy birthday to Bebe. Is Bebe's birthday. He is turning 32 today. Happy 32nd birthday to Lucas Nogueira, former Raptor, Brazilian Raptor. There you go. Who am I picking from the classic card box? Let's get the card out and see who I'm getting today. I want to get a good one. Who is that? Oh yeah, this is awesome. This is a hard one. This is a hard one, guys. This is a very hard one. All right, guys. Don't half-ass. Write the full name, please. All right, let's see if anybody will get this one. This is a Raptors related card. This is hard though, man. I'm gonna say this right now. This may be the hardest card we've ever had. This is a Raptor. This guy played for the Raptors at one point. But this is so hard. In some ways, that's a rookie card. There's the RC in the corner. What team is that? That team is Michigan. That says Michigan on there. So this player played this is a college card. Who is this? This is a former Raptor, guys. In some ways, man, whoever gets this, I'm giving you 200 points because this is so hard. I don't even see you guys trying to guess right now because this is a difficult one. This is a former Raptor. He played for the Raptors main squad. He was playing for the Raptors main team. He's not a 905er. He is not a 905er. He is somebody who played for the Raptors. He did not play for the Raptors for very long. Let's just put it that way. And yeah, I don't. I can keep giving you clues, but I want to see some guesses first. Who do you guys think this is? Michigan, 25, former Raptor. But yeah, I don't even know if he's in the league right now. Yeah, this is a tough one. No guesses. Come on, I got to get at least one guess, guys. Come on, there's got to be a guess somewhere in here. Where's my guesses? Where's my guesses? Where's Smooth? Yeah, where's Smooth? Smooth probably know this one. This guy's too recent. Smooth's good with the classic ones. This is a newer one. This card is new. This is somebody that has been a Raptor in the last 5 years since our championship. This guy's been on the Raptors. So that, I don't know if these clues are helping you guys. I don't see. Mike, you have a guess? Logical Raptors fanatic. Can you logically assess who this is? Isaac saying, I know the face. You know the face? Whose face is that? Whose face is that? Malachi Richardson. That's a great guess, but that's not right. That's not right. This guy, all right, you got to think about the temporary players that played for our team. Malachi Richardson was a temporary player in Tampa, right? Well, this guy was a temporary player for our team also. And in some ways, that should be the clue that helps you right there. In some ways, this guy was a part of the game of one of the worst defeats in the Raptors history. He was a part of that game. Yes. And if you know the game I'm talking about, you're going to know who this is. Terrence Davis is not right. It's not Terrence Davis. That is not Bonga, and you're half-assing, Neil. I know you mean Isaac Bonga, but that is not Isaac Bonga. This guy was very temporarily a Raptor. I think he may have played for the Raptors 3 games, and that was it. That was it. I'll tell you a lot right there. He was a part of one of the worst defeats in Raptors history. The defeat to the Minnesota Timberwolves this past season was the worst defeat ever. This one was second. The game that I'm talking about was the second worst defeat, a margin of victory for the other team against the Raptors in the history of the Raptors. And it's not really this guy's fault. You're saying this Boucher guy. Yeah, he played in a game with Boucher when he played on the Raptors. In fact, Boucher was the best Raptor playing for the Raptors that day. And this guy happened to just show up. He just showed up like a couple hours before the game on a bus, and he met the Raptors for the first time in his life. Yeah, I think you guys are starting to understand the game I'm talking about. It happened on Boxing Day. So if you can figure it out from there, you could say the guy that showed up with him played for Puerto Rico. His name's Tremont Waters. Yeah, you remember that? You remember that little time? Tremont Waters, point guard for Puerto Rico, was a Raptor very temporarily when this guy was a Raptor also. So that should help you guys narrow the list down a bit right there real quick. But I'm surprised you guys aren't getting this one. These are really good clues, honestly. Really, really good clues. And if you know the history of the Raptors, like we do on this channel, you should know what I'm talking about. You should know what I'm talking about. Worst defeat in the history of the Raptors was this season. But the second worst defeat happened on Boxing Day in Cleveland when a certain thing happened with COVID. And the Raptors had to play 4 players from the roster: Yuta Watanabe, Delano Banton, Chris Boucher, and Svi Mihalik were the 4 regular Raptors. And 4 guys got invited to come play for the Raptors within hours. And this is one of those guys. If you can name those guys, you can name who this guy is. So if you know the replacement players from the Boxing Day debacle in Cleveland a couple seasons ago, you'll know who this is. But if you can't, if you don't know who those guys were, well, I guess we're going to be sitting here for a while. Maybe I'll do a thing where the classic card of the day is just not gotten because nobody got it. Some of you got to get it. Here, Juwan Morgan. That's a good guess, Fiercey. But that's not Juwan Morgan of Indiana. He played for Indiana. He was one of those 4 players. So that is one of the names. Tremont Waters, Juwan Morgan. There we go. Isaac got it. That's Daniel Oturo, guys. That is Daniel Oturo, forward center. Isaac, you're going to get 200 points. Yeah, this is replacement player Daniel Oturo. Look at that. Isn't that? Oh, it's a Minnesota jersey. Sorry, I said Michigan. I don't know. That would really piss off Michigan fans that I called the Minnesota jersey that. Yeah, Daniel Oturo, temporary Raptor, replacement Raptor, showed up on a bus and met Yuta Watanabe for the first time. And then they went out there and got their ass kicked by Kevin Love and the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's right. Daniel Oturo. Good job, Isaac Campbell. 200 points to Isaac Campbell for the classic card of the day. That was a tough one. That was like pulling teeth. That one was really tough. Yeah. What the F is that? What? Daniel Oturo? Yeah, he was a Raptor. He played for the Raptors for like 3 games when everybody had COVID. And we had to call him in. And he came in all of a sudden. Yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go, guys. All right, keep checking out the Kensington Variety VIP Club. There's new episodes on the community tab every day. Today, we're taking a survey on Beat the Heat. How do you beat the heat in the summertime? And I'm asking the customers, what are your ways to beat the heat? And if you get a good answer on the Family Feud survey says, you actually get a free can of pop. So, yeah, check out the Kensington Variety VIP Club in the community tab of this channel. It's always fun, fun, fun. Fun, 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 fun. Yeah. All right, guys, let me get out of here. We kind of went over time, a half an hour. It's all right. I'll go less on another day. Clap, clap, clap for Isaac. Yeah, that's a good job. All right, I'm pretty sure I'm done. All right, guys, thanks for watching me. Olympics are starting today. Opening ceremonies today, this afternoon. And the Team Canada will start tomorrow. And I'll be back tomorrow around 2:45. I'll come back live and do the call play-by-play. Canada versus Greece, the first game of the Olympics for Canada against Giannis and the Greek team. And, well, it's hopefully the red-white are winning and beating the blue and white of Greece. So I'll have the live call tomorrow. I hope you'll join me as a supplemental audio for watching it. I won't have the screen of the game on, but you will be able to hear me calling it during the game. So I appreciate everybody watching. New York Shannon, all due respect, I appreciate you subscribing to the channel. And if I went off and went a little crazy, please reply to me in the comments. And you guys, if you want to reply to them too, you go ahead. But I'm just saying, seriously, fan nations we're respectable with each other. We can be respectable, but please don't try and tell us how to do our business in Toronto just because some of your favorite players are playing for us now. That's what I would say right there. Yeah, let's grow. There's Villain Dylan. I love to see that, Isaac. That's so awesome. And there's Cowboy putting in his last little bit too. All right, y'all, let's go Team Canada and get gold at the Olympics. As many golds as you can get, Canada, in all different Summer Olympic sports. Let's go. And Raptors, continue your excellence in your practices in Spain. And, yeah, we believe in you, Scotty. I don't doubt you, Scotty. I know you're going to be a badass, and you're going to make your mark in the NBA no matter what, even if the public imager machine of the NBA is going to hold you back and try not to help. The truth just comes out. The truth just is the truth. And Scotty is the truth. And they're going to find that out. Let's go, Raptors.